best and to be the best you, to be the best genius that you are. This is our individual journey as well as our collective journey. And it's not so much that we have to explain ourselves to people to help them to get us, because they're probably not going to get us anyway. You'll know when you struck that genius goal because you'll freely share, and you'll share it with great love and wisdom. Whatever you want, know it, be it, and do it. Don't be afraid to live it out. Be the inspiration, be the miracle, be the dream, be the love, be the success. So, what's your genius? Own it. Go fearlessly. We are innately wired with genius. Pay it forward with good intentions. Genius is common.
You are watching The View from Hampton U, exploring Hampton University's rich history, the past, present, and promising future.
Welcome to Hampton University and The View from Hampton U. Today we're going to examine a movement that is said to be taking the nation by storm. The Genius is Common movement has emboldened young people throughout the nation, and that has also happened here at Hampton University. Let's take a look at what some of our students have to say about being a genius.
Hi, my name is Gavin Harden, and my genius is to be able to give off positive vibes and spread a smile. Genius is common.
My name is Brianna Lomax, and my genius is artistic expression through writing and showing compassion to everyone I meet. Genius is common.
My name is Atia Strange, and my genius is the power of expression. Art is universal. I sing, I draw, I film, I photograph. Genius is common.
My name is Maya Harris, and my genius consists of all the gifts that God has given to me. I am a giver, I am passionate about bringing ideas to life, and I have mastered the concept of finding the good in everything. Genius is common.
My name is Diamond Sigmund. My genius is acknowledging the beauty in my own mistakes while challenging others to do the same in order to cultivate and grow. Genius is common.
My name is Almajid Edwards. A lot of people think genius is about being talented or being smart. It's not true. Genius is about influence. Whether it's an equation, whether you're reading or writing, research, harmonies, what have you, genius is about the opportunity, the moment of impact where you can influence another person and uplift them. My genius is poetry. Genius is common.
Hampton University has a long-standing history of supporting geniuses and the movements that they create. For example, General Chapman Armstrong established this great institution in 1868. And did you know that Booker T. Washington was also an alum of Hampton University? I could go on and on about the geniuses who've come through these doors and have exited to go out into the world to make a great difference. That's what's important to us. That's what's important about the Genius is Common movement. What is your genius? You should take the time to think about that today. So thank you for watching The View from Hampton U. And remember, genius is truly common.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Black Business Olympics, y'all. My name is Nicole Maxwell, and I am very happy to be here. And I am more happy to have Mr. Aaron Couch with me. So, Aaron, I'm going to turn this over to you, and I will be back in a minute.
All right, Nicole. Thank you so much. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Aaron Couch. I am your business moderator for this morning on the Black Business Network. Now, the Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Now, our first speaker is Nicole Maxwell. Nicole Maxwell is an internationally lauded metaverse consultant, avid gamer, dedicated community leader, and a businesswoman seasoned in creating end-to-end solutions for enterprises and small businesses. Dubbed the Metaverse Goddess, Nicole Maxwell is the CEO and Chief Metaverse Officer for Black Multiverse Enterprises, creating solutions as a leading Web3 organizer with some of the best and brightest individuals in the world. And everybody, I would now like to welcome Nicole Maxwell.
Hello. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Nicole. Hey, I'm going to step out a little bit and have you take care of everything right now, all right? See you soon, okay?
Right on. And genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
And genius is coming. That's right.
All right, you guys, man. It is good to be here today. I am Nicole Maxwell. I am the CEO of Black Multiverse Enterprises. I am the founder of the Blackverse Metaverse community. I am the hostess of the Meta Mind Shift Show and a proud member of the Black Business Network. I am also a consultant with Technical Consulting and launching a new venture called Max Distro in conjunction with Lee Entertainment. All of those things are dedicated to making sure that we as a people find our way into the metaverse and beyond. It is important that we do this. And why? Why do I spend my days telling everybody about the metaverse and saying the metaverse is coming, the metaverse is coming? If you're watching on Tuesday nights on the Black Business Network at 6 p.m., you will see the Meta Mind Shift Show. And that show is dedicated to making sure that we as a people have a space to kind of check out what's going on when it comes to the metaverse. The metaverse is coming. And what is important for me to know that you walk away from this conversation is that Facebook is not building the metaverse. So let's be clear. Facebook is building a metaverse. And because of the way that that news rolled out and the way that that news has been picked up, a lot of people and their work are not being seen. The metaverse is coming. The metaverse is being built out by people every single day. The future is being built right now. And it is important that we as a people know that we have an opportunity to take part in that. No one company is out here building it out for all of us. We are able to come to the table. We are able to participate at the table. We are able to understand the table, define the table, refine the table, break down barriers, and get us all here. And so it is important that we know the metaverse is coming, and we are sure enough for sure going to be a part of what's being built out. And if you don't believe me, please take a minute and just walk down what's been going on the last few days here, or the last couple of years. Just this last week, Brother Teddy Pahagvia, who we lovingly call Mr. Metaverse, he rolled out an avatar with a heartbeat that is using his biometric heartbeat as its biometric identifier. This is linking an avatar to humanity and giving it a flavor that is truly unique. He's a one-of-a-kind person who has been deemed one of the 25 most influential people building the future. And that was well before Facebook ever came out with their version of the metaverse. The metaverse is being built up, and our people are here, and we are building up right along with it. Mary Spio created the Seek VR headset that allows people to have a VR experience. And that VR experience is usually dedicated to concerts. But just recently, they rolled out virtual real estate as a way for people to define a space, call it their own, and create an experience like none other. The Seek VR headset, by the way, is an alternative to the Facebook Oculus headset. Sister Mary Spio enjoyed a birthday a couple weeks ago, and so we want to definitely give a nod to her and to thank her for her accomplishments and contributions to building out the future. Later today, you are going to hear from my very own Ira Revels. Ira Revels, someone who I have nicknamed the Grant Godmother, is going to be speaking later today and talking about how she's innovating on the blockchain, creating AI-based and AI-driven technology for grants and for funding for our folks. These are all innovators. These are all people. These are all people who are creating innovations for our future. They are defining tables and refining and redefining what it means to be one of us, to be a creator, to be in technology, and to be a participant instead of a consumer to the internet, to the metaverse, and to the future. They are going beyond NFTs. beyond the arts, and they're creating solutions that are resulting in a better world for everyone. My goal is to make sure that people know that the future is coming, the metaverse is coming. You have a place here, and you can define what that place means to you. As we take a look at the Black community, we are thankful that networks like this exist. We are thankful that we have a worldwide audience to be able to contribute our voices, our experience, our expertise to the whole world and stand up and say, hey, I've created this. Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, my business is here and I exist. I can get on this network, this Black Business Network, and I can stand up and I can say, I am a business owner. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business, and we are happy to be here. So I want to thank all of you all for listening in, for tapping into the broadcast, for continuing to come every single day, because we are here helping to shape and create and craft and cultivate the world, the whole entire world. We are around the globe right now, and people are listening to this broadcast, and they are thinking about the expertise that our seasoned business owners are providing to people. And they are getting ideas for their businesses. They are thinking about new ways to innovate. And my goal for you is to think about how you, as a young person who's watching the broadcast, as an older person who's listening in and mature in your ways or mature in the way that you do business, and think about for just a minute, what does that mean when the metaverse is here? And how can you get ahead of the game now? I come to you today, and I'm coming to you after a very strenuous day, couple of days here. I lost one of my grandmothers earlier this week. I was notified of her passing, and I have had a minute to just reflect on her life. And she spent her life as an educator, and she spent her life as someone who was truly giving to all around her, especially those with special needs. That's what we used to call it back in the day. It was special needs children. She was a teacher for special needs. I have an uncle, and that uncle has special needs that she cared for in her personal life. But she took that and ran with it in her professional life as well. And so she was able to reach out to people with differabilities. And that is likely why I call it that. I feel like there are all sorts of folks out here who may or may not know what they're dealing with. They just know they think differently. Sometimes we are seeing that in the headlines, and we're seeing it show up in front of us. And sometimes we're dealing with it ourselves, and we just don't know. But we all know of somebody who thinks differently or who has a different situation, and they are able to persevere. And so as we think about the future, we think about the present. And in today's times, those people sometimes get shunned. They get seen as outliers. So when we're building things, we aren't building for them. They have to make accommodations. And so I challenge us as we are thinking about our Black community, and as we are thinking about a community of people who have gone through some trials and tribulations, I challenge us to look deeper into our own communities and to create things that are made for everybody. Those that we see on the outsides or see as outliers to the majority, or to the communities that we live and thrive in. And so whether those are people who are dealing with a vision impairment, or those with just full-on paralysis, how do we create a metaverse that is for everyone? and actually cares about them as outliers and not just build for the masses. We all got the message. I've been screaming this for 2 years now. The metaverse is coming. And it is. And people are waking up and they're out here building. They're creating and crafting and cultivating for their businesses. They're using NFTs in ways that we've never, ever thought possible. Those things are happening. But now it's time to make sure that we all get here. In the United States, 40 million Americans are classified as disabled, 12.6% of the population. The Disabled World reports that 15% of the world's population has some form of disability and estimates that 33% of 20-year-old workers will become disabled before they reach retirement age. In 2018, 1 in 4 US adults are defined as having a disability that impacts major life activities. An estimated 200 people globally are visually impaired, including me. Through the World Health Organization, we estimate 1.3 billion people live with some form of vision impairment, and the majority of them are over 50 years of age. Now, what's amazing about all those numbers that I read are that they're underreported. So just like we know that when there's statistics that come out about our community, that they are likely wrong because we are not participating in the process. These folks generally, there are a lot of hesitancies to tell that you have a disability. There are a lot of hesitancies to get tested for things that you may or may not have because you don't want to be a statistic. And so when the numbers are considered, they are underreported. So when I said 1 in 4 adults have a disability, that number is likely wrong. That number is likely higher than 1 in 4. And so that means that when we're building for the future in the metaverse, we have to account for everyone. We have to make sure that we're all getting to the other side. We have to make sure that that saying that we say, when I say, I will see you on the other side, that we are truly believing that. We are truly making space and paving way for that to happen. When it comes to VR, we think about our VR experiences, and y'all know me, I love my VR. I love my little headset over here, as thick and clunky as it is. It goes on my head, and it gets heavy after a while. You know, I gotta reposition the curls a little bit, gotta reposition that thing, make sure that it's tight because it starts slipping down on my nose. I have an astigmatism. And so that means that my eyes see things differently. And so I have contacts to correct for that. Well, when I have my VR headset on, eventually it starts weighing down on my cheeks, which messes with the weights in my contacts, which makes my vision kind of blurry. And so I have to readjust things and get it just right. One of my best friends on Clubhouse is a wonderful woman, and her name is Erica. Hey, Erica, I hope you're watching. She has what is called TBI, traumatic brain injury. She was the victim of gun violence and is a survivor and a thriver from that incident. But she has a traumatic brain injury, and she is in recovery, and she is wheelchair bound. One of the things that I always think about when I'm in VR is, how would Erica be able to come into this experience with me? When I found AltSpace, one of the first things that I did was take Erica into AltSpace. And the reason I did that is because, let me just describe my experience. So when I go into a space in the AltSpace virtual world, I go in and I go up. I fly. I love flying. That is one of my favorite things to do in VR and anywhere really, is to fly. And I fly high. And that is so that I can survey everything and see how the builders created it. I think that that is the coolest thing in the world, is to just see the vision from a different angle. And so that's what I want y'all to do too, is see the vision from a different angle. Not your own, but someone else's perspective. For Erica, it was important for me to have an experience in VR with her and be able to take her there, because in physical life, when we're thinking about reality versus virtual reality, in her physical form, she cannot get up and walk around. She is bound to a wheelchair. But in VR, she's able to get up and fly. And she's able to go in places and spaces where she can't in traditional life. Her wheelchair requires that when she goes and has Thanksgiving dinner, that there be a space at grandma's house where she can actually get through the door. And when she can't, that's a problem. And so in the VR world, though, she's free and she can interact and engage just like me. Except that's in AltSpace. And in AltSpace, she was able to use the desktop version. When we're thinking about the metaverse, typically we're talking about AR and VR. There is no way that a VR headset can be accommodating to her TBI, her traumatic brain injury, because her brain is sensitive because of her incident. Erica is one of many who are out here dealing with different types of situations that they have to have some sort of accommodation for them to experience the norm. This is not just limited to TBI. We have this in things like arthritis and carpal tunnel. I suffer from tendonitis in both my wrists, partially because of gaming, not really though. I also, I talked about having contact lenses. Well, we have a whole entire community of people who are partially vision impaired and fully vision impaired. How do they get to experience the metaverse? We have people who are bound to their wheelchairs and others who are in a state of paralysis. My other grandmother, before she passed, was paralyzed for quite some time. So how do we make space? How do we create? We have to be champions. Just like when we have a kid who is struggling in school, we get them some extra tutors and we try to, throw the book at them. We make sure that they're grounded for a week so they study. We have to make these ways for people to thrive as we head into the metaverse. And now is the time. We cannot wait until it's built and then build around it for them. We have to make sure that we all get there at the same time. So think about creating solutions that are accessible to everyone. Solutions that fix problems beyond specific users and beyond the masses. Instead of working to create a generation of Bored Apes or the next iteration of Bored Apes or the next mutant ape or any kind of ape really, seek to create things that are going to help everyone to be here and then put an emphasis on our communities. To those in sales and to marketing and advertising, y'all have likely heard me say, first of all, I am not a salesperson. Second of all, I don't like the term target market, and I don't resonate with that because it doesn't resonate with me. The whole world is my market until we all get to the metaverse because everybody's got to be here. But to those of you who do, I ask that you kind of change the way that you're working on that. Instead of asking who is my target audience, try to redefine that and reframe it as who won't be able to use this product, and start with them as your target. Start with them as people that you want to be able to utilize your product. Build out in that way. I've talked a lot about people with disabilities, I talked a lot about people with differabilities. But I also now want to switch gears and kind of talk a little bit about the other end of that spectrum. We always talk about our young folks and getting them to understand that they're going to be building out the future. And I challenge you to think, well, they already know that. They They're well aware of it. And they don't traditionally have issues learning technology because they're starting younger and younger and younger. My niece started using Roblox when she was 3. And so she's just about 8 now, and she is going to be learning how to build worlds. And so that's kind of the space that I've helped her to create for herself. And I'm very happy about that. But also, that's just the way of the world today. Like, you give your kid your cell phone because you don't want to hang out with them and read books to them anymore because you're busy. And so the kids have cell phones. They know how to use them by the time they're 5. They can teach you everything that you need to know. So we see that. But on the other end of that spectrum and in the middle, so in the middle of that spectrum, we have the teenagers who are trying to find and craft their path for life and are telling you exactly what they are and are not going to do. We have the college-age folks, and the college-age folks are those young people who are coming into their own, and half of them are millionaires right now because they've all got 12 different forms of income because that's what we told them to do, and they did it. And then they told us that, they don't want just one form, they want 12. So they replicated everything that we taught them and then broke it. So not only do we have that, but then we have those of us who are kind of in that middle age, those like me who maybe grew up with technology, and some of us really tapped into it, and some of us did not. But then we also have our older folks. And so we have our older folks, so those who are 65 and plus. When we think about that population of people, and I say the words, everyone has to get to the metaverse, I mean that, and I mean everybody. So when we think about our older population, 65 and plus, in 2019, that population was 54 million people, with 30 million of those folks being women and 24 million of those being men, defining it in that way. People aged 65 and plus represented 16% of the population in 2019. But guess what? By 2040, that's expected to be 21%. 21% of our population is going to be in the older population within the next 20 years. So if we're looking at that, we want to make sure that we're also building for that 20%. Our older generation, we need to care for them better. And I mean that across the board. We need to make sure that there are spaces for our older generation to be able to thrive, for our older generation to have stuff to do in VR. This last couple of weeks, if you know, you may know, you may not know, but I'm the CEO of Black Multiverse Enterprises. And Black Multiverse is a space where we have a partnership with Google. We are a gold star, a high impact performing partner for 2022 with Grow with Google. We were granted a $150,000 scholarship or grant of scholarships to provide to our communities. We are looking for additional sponsorship. But one of the things that we are doing, one of the ways that we have become a high impact performing partner for 2022 is by hosting Skill Up programs. And that Skill Up program is something that airs here on the Black Business Network every Tuesday and Thursday, except for when the Olympics is running. And we are able to provide skills utilizing Google Career or Google applications. So how to use these various applications that are free to you to be able to utilize, and just helping people to skill up, define some skills, and be able to definitely grab and approach those. And one of the gentlemen who lives in my area, he attended one of my sessions And he was an older guy. And I found that he was very, he's well off. Let me just put it like that. He's a well off guy. And, you know, one of the sessions I did was on your resume, and also another one on online scams. And he attended one of those sessions. And he says to me that, you know, in his life, and I mean, he's probably in that 65 plus range, he's looking for a role as a VP of one of the MNCs, the multinational corporations. And he was having a hard time because he could not create his own resume. And I said, well, you've created a resume before, so you're just going to want to craft it. And, you know, started giving him a few tips on how to do that. And he says to me, I've never created my own resume. We always had people to do that for us. And that got me thinking not only about the folks like him who have always kind of been in this position where there were people to do things, and you didn't really have to have someone else, or you didn't have to have the knowledge yourself because somebody else did it for you. But it got me thinking about our older generation and the fact that these folks don't know how to use some of this technology and things that we take for granted. And so again, I am using my voice to say that, there are dozens, thousands of solutions that can be created and are waiting for us to create them. So go out and spin up something new. Go out and craft and create and cultivate something new that gets you to a space where you can be able to help someone else. The metaverse is coming. We are building it up every single day. Our older generation absolutely must go with us. We cannot leave them behind. In our communities, we used to have no child left behind was not ours, but it was a saying that was out there. We used to have the saying that it takes a village. And so I challenge us to get back to that saying. Get back to the idea that we're a village. And in this village of folks, we have all sorts of people who are skilled up and ready to help us and to aid us. And that, to me, is what the power of the Black Business Network really is. We have the ability. You have seen it right here on this network all week long. You have seen people who are here and who are sharing in their gifts and their talents, things that they have acquired through education and through experience, and they've turned them into businesses. And now those businesses are out in these communities or doing great things, whether they're virtual or whether they're in the physical. It is reality versus virtual reality. But the reality of that statement is that it's not. We deal in reality every single day, and we have challenges in this reality that are like none other. And getting people to pay attention to them when they are not members of this community is very difficult. We have seen it. We have whole entire movements. Minority equity and inclusion is a movement. Affirmative action was a movement, in addition to being a law and a way of doing business. Those things happen because our communities need support in different ways because of all the things that have happened to us on a global scale. I am the CEO of Black Multiverse Enterprises. And when I say Black, I mean Black all over the world. I don't mean Black as in Black American. I mean Black as in Black, our collective skin tone that we resonate with, our collective state of being, our collective culture. Every single person on this planet that resonates with some melanin in their skin tones or their skin and underneath and generationally, all of that. That is Black to me. And when I say the Black community, we have got to get it together in a way where we are together and we can build and create and craft and cultivate for our communities. That's what I mean on a global scale. I love my community out in Ghana. I love Koss and Kofi and Toby and everybody everybody that we kind of hang out with and resonate. I love my folks over in the UK, Curious Anarchist and Ella Matheson. I love the folks who we get to see and sometimes hear from that are over in Sweden and Switzerland that are a part of the Black verse community. All of these people are finding ways to think about the future differently. They are finding ways to think about the metaverse as an option, as a solution, as a way of change. And that is what I want us all to be thinking about as we are heading into this next phase of life. So just to recap, we have folks who need help, support, and solutions. If you are in IT, please begin to build for them. Please, if you are in a space where maybe you don't own your own business, but you are on a board or you are a member of a technology firm or you own and run a nonprofit, it is important and essential and required that we get to building these tables now. Yes, virtual real estate is great. Yes, virtual real estate is a thing, but we have such an imagination and such a flavor of innovation that is like none other. We need more Mary Spiros. We need more Teddy Pahagbias. We need more people who are building. We need more Lori Mitchells who are out here running organizations like Black Women in Technology. We need more Ella Mathesons. And we need more Curious Anarchists. We need more of us who are building spaces. Christopher Webster, who is the creator of the Avatar Convention Center, in his traditional world, he is a robot. And when I say traditional, I mean he gets up and walks around as a robot. He appears as a robot in concerts, birthday parties, things like that. Traditional spaces, we call that dress up, we call it cosplay, we call it theater, dramatics, all of that. But in the future, we call that the metaverse. And so in the metaverse, he's created the Avatar Convention Center. It is in a space called CryptoVoxels. And you can go out there right now and find his work. And he has created digital art like none other. Wearables, things that your avatar can actually put on. He is out there and he's got that going already. If you've never seen an Avatar Convention Center, now is the time to go check it out. Go to CryptoVoxels and search for Avatar Convention Center. Use Google to help you get there. There are so many different ways and things that you can do to show up and show out and show support. Honor your ancestors. Honor those who mean something to you. Create a DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. That means that it's a organization that runs without a hierarchy, and it runs with technology, and that technology empowers voting. We just saw the voting process happen once again here in the United States. Whether you felt that was seamless, fair, or a debacle is neither here nor there. But what is a reality is that it takes too long to vote or to tally up our votes. The DAO process utilizes technology to make that process faster. The blockchain is the fastest technology in the world when it comes to transactions and ledgers. So that information could be to us within minutes of voting rather than within days or heck, even these days, even months of the completion of a voting cycle. Technology is happening all around us. So regardless of whether you like the metaverse, you've never been in the metaverse, or you are a metaverse enthusiast like me. It's happening. And so it's happening underneath some of your noses. And so even though, we've had these conversations for quite some time about what the metaverse is, the reality is that it is changing. It is impacting our world and how we experience it. Before I wrap up today, I want to do a little exercise. I do this on my show, and so I want to do this with everybody because I want you to see how easy it is to experience some of these things. I always talk about VR. And VR is virtual reality, and that is where you put on a headset and you go fully immersed and you are looking around and you're inside of this other place, but you're really just sitting in the same chair that you've been in for a while. Today, I want to do a trick with you that I've done a couple different times, but I'm going to do it here on the network. So break out your cell phones, get your cell phone out, pull out your cell phone and do me a favor and go to your search. And you're probably going to be on Google. So go to Google search and you are going to type in tiger. Okay, so search for the word tiger, Tiger, tiger. Okay. And so just search for that, do it wide open, scroll down just a little bit, and you should see something that says, meet a life-size Bengal tiger up close. And then there's a little button there that says view in 3D. So go ahead and do that. Click the little button, and it should say view in 3D. Now on my screen, I'm seeing a tiger, and there's another little button there that says view in your space. Okay, so go ahead and do that. View it in your space. And then you'll see a message that says point your phone down at an empty space and move it around slowly. So you're going to want to do that. Point it to the floor and then raise your phone up just a little bit, and you should be able to see a tiger. Now, this works whether you're doing it towards a desktop or to the floor or I did it on a TV stand one time. You are pulling a tiger into the space where you are right now. So if you're in your living room or your office, it's in there with you right now. And so if your phone is turned up, you hear the tiger is roaring at you. You can turn the tiger around. You can zoom in and out by pinching your phone and whatever you normally do to zoom in and out. You're going to be able to do that with your phone. But that tiger can be placed there, and then you can record a little video of it. So if you've done this exercise with me, go ahead and record that video, take a few minutes and say something cool, let the tiger roar at you, and then take that, share it on social media. And then I want you to tag hashtag BBX, hashtag BBO, hashtag technical, and hashtag Black Business Olympics. Okay, you guys, so get that out there and share it, because I want to see those come in. I want to know that you're out here listening, and I appreciate everybody for being here. I am extremely encouraged by all of the wonderful folks who have come in. I thank everyone who comes all the time to our mastermind think tanks. We are a network that meets at least 4 times a week, every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, you have Supercharged Saturdays with me at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then if you are someone who wants to grow your business and go global, you want to learn how to scale, you do that at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Dr. Eric Kelly III. And so I would like to say, first of all, since we are here, I got a few more minutes, I'm going to say Dr. Eric Kelly III just experienced a landmark in all of our lives, and that was his own birthday. So happy belated birthday to you, and we appreciate you for everything that you do. Thank you for moving this network forward. And most importantly, you guys, I want to say that we are a network that has a mission to supply scholarships and laptops to kids. So earlier you heard me talk about the children and how they already know where we're headed. Well, they do. But you know what? There are some kids out there somewhere that need to have some support. And that is by either a scholarship or a laptop. And so if you are a business owner and if you care about the future of children and being able to see those children thrive, then I ask you to please consider giving to the Black Business Network, providing scholarships for kids. Please do go ahead and provide a donation. You can do that directly on the website. Or, you know, as Aaron comes back up, we are going to see that you're also going to be able to provide that to the Cash App. So please consider doing that. We're heading into the holiday season and there are some needy folks out here who need some support. Build. That is my message to you as I leave today. That is my message to you is build. Don't build for you. Don't build for the thing that you know the best. Build for someone who needs it. And that is how we all get to the other side. So I am grateful to have been here today. And I am thankful to Aaron for coming back up and being able to connect with you, sir. Aaron.
Yes. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Nicole, thank you so much today for coming on. Thank you for your expertise. I mean, you're on point. But I got one little question before my other question.
Hey, go for it.
Did my pops, Mr. Kelly, did he tell you to talk about his birthday? Because his birthday was like a month ago. So, I mean, he's been celebrating it for the last 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, yo, you just forgot mine. But I'm just curious. I'm curious. And just one other quick thing. Why don't you just go ahead and tell everybody that the metaverse is the Matrix? I mean, come on.
No.
Come on. I'm just saying, get their attention a little bit with it. Come on.
Look, Aaron, so first of all, let me tell you. So, yes.
I knew I was going to get you on that one. I knew I was going to get you.
Look, his birthday was a while ago, but I'm still celebrating it because, man, I'm telling everybody because I want him to have had. I am that person that will celebrate my birthday all month long because it's that.
Yeah, I don't blame him for it, but I found it interesting he was doing that.
But no, he did not tell me that, by the way. But to think about the future, and a lot of people's exposure to things like the metaverse have been movies. I'm definitely one of those. I'm a movie buff. My group, Blackverse. We have the movies. We have movie night in the metaverse every Friday evening. So, if y'all are here, go to blackverse.io. I'll put that in the chat in a minute. But that is one of the many ways you can connect with me. You can also go to metamindshift.com. But thinking about the movies, yeah, we see the Matrix. Yes, we saw Matrix avatars come out and they were metahumans. They looked very similar to us as ourselves. They were really cool. It was a whole vibe last year. The Matrix is a possibility. It ain't one that I want, but some people are going towards having what they call like a neural link. And that is where there's actual technology in you that helps you link to this thing. And we saw in the Matrix how that goes wrong. I saw the Matrix, so now I don't want that. That's not what I'm heading towards. But I will also say that there are other movies out right now. For example, on Amazon Prime, there is Peripheral, and we're also watching that in Blackverse right now. But Peripheral is a movement. It's a show that is all about being able to have this idea of like teleporting into an avatar's body and going into the future, and the idea of interdimensionality, like so the multiverse type of thing, as well as interconnectivity. And so there's some really cool tech in that, and they have really cool headsets that I would love to have right now. So yes, the movies have been taking us to where we're going for a very, very long time. I will also say that I didn't do this. I need to do this. I got a minute left, but I'm going to say that, you know what? I explore all of those things.
I got one more question. I'm gonna
go ahead.
No, because I like that part, because I wanted to add to it. You talked about concerts. So you are watching movies in the metaverse, and you mentioned the hardware. So do you know of any artists or anybody that's looking to do a virtual concert in the metaverse, like using the hardware that's out right now? So I'm just kind of curious about
absolutely. That. So yes, so not only are they looking, they're doing it, right? I mentioned Altspace earlier. My favorite go-to Artsy, she's a sponsor of the Meta Mindshift show, but she is a 3D world builder. She's a sister out here who has built amazing things. She built a 9-world environment, social VR environment for Naughty by Nature. And they had a concert there. I attended that concert. We were able to connect at that concert. They showed up as holograms. We've seen lots of other artists do kind of holograms. We've also seen, I have a friend who is a sister who is an opera singer, and she had an underwater opera theater built for herself. So yeah, we're doing it. George Clinton is another guy. George Clinton Artsy also created a world for him. So yes, there's a ton of different people who are doing great things in the metaverse, and they're all getting here. So there's entertainment like none other, experiences like none other, stuff you can't do in real life. You can absolutely do it in the metaverse. Contact me, get in touch with me at metamindshift.com. You're going to be able to have seminars, workshops, conferences, invite me as a guest speaker, especially for Black History Month, because that is coming up. And I am also open to partnerships, collaborations, and to helping you spearhead your own metaverse organization within an organization. So thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Hey, Nicole, thank you so much. And just remember what they say, genius is coming. And I'll see you on the other side. Am I still on? Thank you, everybody. We will be back in about 15 minutes. And once again, everybody, remember, genius is coming, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you.
I'm Jaha, Chief of Tonkawa of Texas, artist and entrepreneur. My genius is master building. Master building with what's in my hands or nothing at all. I learned to keep it simple, clear, and concise. Lay a strong foundation in truth and purity, and you really can't go wrong. Allow room for yourself and others to grow. Tap deep. I learned a lot there. Like, it's better to steer away from being judgmental. I learned more about my uniqueness. I learned about authenticity, so on and so on and on and on and on. I realized I didn't have to spend my time being in competition because I already won. You don't have to spend your time always competing against people. You're already a winner. Allow yourself room to grow and allow others room to grow. To learn yourself, to learn what your genius is, and to be the best you, to be the best genius that you are. This is our individual journey, as well as our collective journey. And it's not so much that we have to explain ourselves to people to help them to get us, because they're probably not going to get us anyway. You'll know when you struck that genius goal, because you'll freely share, and you'll share it with great love and wisdom. Whatever you want, know it, be it, and do it. Don't be afraid to live it out. Be the inspiration, be the miracle, be the dream, be the love, be the success. So, what's your genius? Own it. Go fearlessly. We are innately wired with genius. Pay it forward with good intentions. Genius is common.
child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kinston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be losers, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world. It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you've come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professionals can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start bossing today.
This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with Work That Thing supplements.
There is no one solution to dismantling racism. There's no one solution to decentering whiteness or supremacy. I am Merrill Holloway, and I'm the executive director of NC 100. NC 100 is based in the Central Piedmont region of Rockingham County, North Carolina. We are located centrally in the state, and we are connected to local leaders, but we are also connected statewide. We are connected to people who believe in community organizing, and that is a way to help build a better North Carolina.
So everybody knows about the Tulsa, Oklahomas and the Durham, North Carolinas, and the rich history of black economic development and all those things, and the race riots in Wilmington. But, you know, in a rural community like Reedsville, where I grew up here in Rockingham County, there was this rich, thriving community where there was economic prosperity and all of this wonderful economic freedom, where people felt engaged and there was a civic engagement because people had this inclusion piece, and it seemed like it disappeared overnight. Racial justice work can't be divided from economic justice work. I am standing in front of Mechanic and Farmers Bank on the very famous Parish Street. I personally have been involved in black economic development work here in Durham, and I believe that is this type of work and the type of relationships that I've been able to form here in the Triangle that's going to benefit Rockingham County.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Aaron Couch. I am your business moderator for this hour on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Our next speaker coming up is Dr. Latanya Small. Dr. Latanya Small is the founder and CEO of LT Empowerment Incorporated, a consulting company with the mission of empowering people to live life with possibilities, power, and purpose. She offers facilitated learning and strategic development through customized services, workshops, coaching, and motivational speaking. People, I present to you Dr. Latanya Small.
Thank you, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing this evening?
Doing well. I'm doing well on this great Wednesday.
All right, then. Well, you know what? I'm going to let you get straight to it. And I just want you to remember one thing.
What's that?
Genius is coming. And I'm going to see you on the other side.
On the other side, yes. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am excited to be here. I want to bring forward we're going to have a great discussion tonight. We are going to talk about our mind matters. As we are into this holiday season, as we are looking at the end of 2022, can you believe it? We in November. We need to stop and put the oxygen mask on us and think about our mind. Yes, our mind matters. And I'm going to share this discussion because this is a discussion. I want to share this, what we're going to call this fireside chat with a good friend. A friend, also one of my sorors, yes, from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Miss Faith Wade. Faith Wade, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. What we're going to talk about to the audience, to everyone, we're going to talk about our mind and how our mind matters. You see, and when we think about everything that we're trying to do, when we think about the things that we want to have on our to-do list, where are we and how we're taking care of everybody and not even ourselves, we have to take care of our mind. You see, without your mind, you can't have anything else. Our mind is so important. And this is basically a conversation of why our mind matters. Now, Faith, what I love about this is that in your business and what you do, and I want you to tell us a little bit what you do, because I know from just meeting you, you talk about the importance of self-care in terms of regulating yourself, in terms of you also, what I said, putting on your own mask. Can you talk to us about how self-care in your mind is not just one-dimensional, but it's for everybody?
So just a little bit of background about what I do. Recently, I accepted a new position as an equal employment opportunity specialist here in the federal government. So with that, I have had a lot of opportunities to work very closely with our employee resource groups, as well as different people amongst the commission that bring up diverse and inclusive activities. And with that, mental health has been one of the main topics to come up with all of that. And specifically, I will say, due to COVID-19. Of course, we all know the space that we were in during COVID-19. But especially now, I think it's extremely important that we all make sure that we do things to soothe us and do self-care activities. For me personally, I remember being in undergrad, and I think for me, that's when the mental health journey kind of came about. As you know, we met in my position as regional representative for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And within that position, it required me to travel a lot, actually every weekend probably. And I still was accountable for my schoolwork, of course, because graduation was the number one priority. So with that, I noticed that I did not take care of myself at all. And one of the biggest things or takeaways I should say is to make sure that, number one, you're really saying no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to take a step back. It's okay not to be at everything you have to do. Number two, I think another main thing is to listen to your body, right? Because your body is the temple. Your body is telling you, is guiding you in the directions that you need. And in order to take care of yourself mentally, you also have to take care of your body physically. So one term or something that I've heard along the years is basically a mental health day. And I think that those are very important for you to take those every once in a while whenever you feel like you need it. So just a few things that I've noticed throughout the years that you should do. Listen to your body. It's okay to say no. It's okay to give yourself the grace, and it's okay. It's just okay not to be okay.
I love that. I love that. And we're gonna unpack that, because saying no No is a complete sentence, and we've said that. It's a complete sentence. You don't need to have to elaborate. But why do you find, now I know that sometimes when you say no, you feel guilty. You feel guilty like, oh, I should say, well, I have a little bit more to give. Maybe I can do this. We have to stop that. We have to stop that because we endanger our own self when we always say that I have to do it. I have to. And so, what do you say? And again, this is not just in my generation, because I know you're one of those millenniums, and that's why I love this conversation because your mind matters throughout. If you are a baby boomer, Generation X, Y, or millennium, your mind matters because COVID did a whole lot. And if we have to reframe how we think about things. And when we say that, first of all, say no, that's uncomfortable. Let's be honest. That's uncomfortable. As a parent, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to say no. But then you go back, oh, I feel so guilty. Maybe I could have. You talk to your boss. Your boss asks you, you got to make sure that we do what our boss says. But when we are volunteering on other assignments and things like that, we always want to say, I'll do it. You raise your hand. I can do that. How do you kind of, in your role and what you see with your colleagues, your friends, your family, how do you unpack that saying no and walking away and feeling good about it? How do you do that?
I'm glad you brought this up because I've struggled with that for a number of years. Absolutely struggled with no. But honestly, you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to your mind and your body, and you have to respect that. And when you say no, it's difficult because, of course, you feel bad, you feel guilty. You may feel, okay, maybe I can give it a little bit, or maybe I can do this extra thing. But understand that's only a detriment to you. Like, yes, that other person is benefiting from, or, whatever is benefiting from you saying yes. But are you benefiting from you saying yes? And I think that's just something you have to really be self-aware about. Again, saying no does not feel good all the time, but sometimes it feels amazing. So it's important to really just listen to yourself, listen to your mind, body, and spirit, and say, okay, do I need to do this, or do I need to take a step back? And be graceful with yourself, because at the end of the day, your mental health is the most important thing. You being okay is the most important thing. So always be aware of how you're feeling, and understand, even though you may feel guilty in that moment, you're going to feel even better afterwards because you said no. So
yes, you said it. You said it that, it may be uncomfortable, but my yes, saying yes to you is saying no to me sometimes.
Absolutely.
And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay. And I do believe that sometimes when we think about, where we are, we like to please people. You don't want to be that person that's going to be the no. You want to be the person that people count on, that people go to. But what is that doing to you? What is that really doing to you? Are you staying up late at night, not getting your hours sleep, not eating right? You talked about your body, because yes, you've got to listen to your body, because your body will shut you down. Your body will shut you
down. And at that point, it's too late. Once your body shuts down, it's too late at that point. So
it's too late. And I think about when we think about how we interact, and that being accepted. We want to be accepted. We want to be liked. And sometimes that comes with a high cost, a high cost and a high price. And it's okay. You said it that, it's okay to be not okay. It's okay. And I think we need to be honest with ourselves. When I think about how I operate, when my days off, Monday was one of my days off. And when I have made a conscious effort, because when I'm talking about my mind matters, I got to preach where I walk. Okay, everyone?
Absolutely.
I have made a conscious effort that on my days off, it's not going to look like my regular week. I'm not going to get up and be like, oh, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to do this. I'm running. No, it's my day. I earned it. I was entitled to it. And I had to change my mindset in saying that I am worthy. I am worthy and I deserve that grace. And you talked about giving ourselves some grace. Tell me a situation where you didn't give yourself some grace, or you know someone else, and what lessons did you learn after that?
Yes, thank you. So, I will say this happens often, if I'm being honest. I feel like this is a space where I can be open and honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't give myself grace often. It takes a lot of wiring to really do it. But I will say in one particular situation, recently, now currently in my new position, I have every Friday off. So before I used to have every other Friday off. And on my off Friday, I would really try to make it a point to not have it filled with appointments or not have it filled with conference calls or whatever the case may be, right? But sometimes that's just impossible. So I remember one of the first Fridays in this position, being off work, and I didn't have any appointments, I didn't have any meetings, I didn't have anything at all. And I was just like, okay, maybe I should move this around so I can get this done early and whatever the case may be. I wasn't giving myself the grace to say, okay, you have a free day. What do you want to do? Nothing or something? Or what do you want to do here? So with that, I really had to, I have a lot of conversations. I do a lot of self-talk. So I had some conversation with myself and I was like, why is this benefiting me? Trying to put more things on my plate than what I already have. I've been itching for a day where I don't have to do anything. So why am I putting more on my plate than I need to? Why am I trying to find things? I know for me, I keep a to-do list. If my to-do list gets too low, I freak out because it's like, all right, there's something else that needs to be done. But again, having those conversations with yourself and treating yourself with grace, taking yourself out on a date, that's something new I just started recently. Those things are really important. Those are little things that we take for granted sometimes, I feel like. So with that, I feel like you should just do some self-talk. Talk yourself out of not feeling like you're doing enough and talk yourself into taking care of yourself, I think is the biggest thing.
You said that. You said that in terms of it's okay for my plate not to be full.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. But again, we are so wired that we have to be busy, that if I don't have anything booked from the morning to the afternoon to the evening, I feel like, I'm being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm being lazy. And it's so funny that we're up here, I know this is all over, but we're up here in the Washington, Maryland, and Virginia area.
Mm-hmm.
My mother lives down in Myrtle Beach, which I'm going to happily move down there later on. But when I go down south, it's a different way of thinking. It's a different mindset. It's slow. I mean, everyone is not in a rush. You get there when you get there. And for us up north, we be like, come on. Let's go. And they be like, we're going to get there when we get there. And it's just a way of reconditioning ourselves and changing our mindsets, and that we don't have to pack it with everything. One thing that I find very hard in terms of regulating our mind is being still. Being still. And when you try to be still, you feel like, okay, well, how long am I going to be still? For 2 seconds? 1 second? Try doing that. Try just stilling your mind, your arms, your breathing, just regulating that, and see the power of that. I took a yoga class this past weekend at a retreat, and it was phenomenal because it really allows us to really think about our body, our motion, and just to center in. Now, I've done things high-packed, fast paced, but to really just kind of sit and center in, that's discipline. And to tell you the truth, sometimes the issue is that we don't want to be disciplined, because to be disciplined and be still means that maybe I have to deal with some things that I don't want to deal with. Hello? What do you think about that, Faith? What do you think about when we try to be still and the avoidance of just breathing in and out? What do you think about that?
Again, I feel like it's the small things that we typically take for granted, like being still or not having anything to do, or just, I guess for me too, the biggest thing is about checking in with oneself. I really believe in that. So being still could simply just be, how are you? How are you doing? What are some areas that you want to improve in? Yes, breathing and body movements and things like that, but always checking in. Always checking in, because your mental health is number one for you. So it's important to check in and say, hey, how are we doing? Are we doing okay? Whatever that may be. Another tip is for me, being still. One technique that my therapist actually taught me in being still, because I struggle with anxiety. So one technique in the being still. So when I'm still, that's when my anxiety kind of gets to going, and I can't let it get there. And one way or one tip that really helped me to remain still is to use my five senses. So basically, within your five senses, you pick something that makes you feel still, that makes you feel calm, that brings you back to self, brings you back to present, so that you are able to have those still moments. So for example, smell. I love candles, specifically like eucalyptus candles. So for me, if I want a moment to myself, or I want to practice some type of mindfulness, I'll light a candle. I'll make sure that candle's lit. Also for touch, I have a heated blanket at home that I absolutely love. So for me, again, if I want to be still, I'll light a candle. I will put my heated blanket on me, and I'll just think about some things, or I'll just check in with myself, or whatever the case may be. So yes, it's very difficult to be still. It's very difficult to find those moments when you're just one with yourself. And again, like you said, it could be difficult because you don't want to address what's going on up here, right? But you can't let that affect your time in checking in with yourself still. Because yes, there's things that you need to deal with, and there's things that you need to do, but you need to check in with self as well.
Right. And I love what you said about checking in. I don't know if you saw, and those of you are out there, Michelle Obama, Robin, I forgot her last name, but Robin on ABC interviewed Michelle Obama on this past Sunday. It was a Sunday, I believe it was Sunday. She interviewed Michelle Obama. And in that episode, they were talking about one of their friends who used to get up and have a great affirmation. You know, he got out, I think he was named, you're going to have a great day, buddy. It was something like that. And it was something, and he would go in the bathroom and he would prep himself up. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. And I thought about that. Again, going back to the yoga in terms of your affirmation. What is your I am statement? What are you declaring for yourself? And that starts with your mind, because I always say, one of my quotes is, your feet will never take you where your mind has never been. I say it again. Your feet will never take you where your mind has never been. And so what are you telling yourself in your mind? When you wake up, are you saying like, oh, today's just going to be a terrible day, or oh, so much? Or are you waking up today, regardless of what it looks like? Today is going to be a good day. I've got this. I am enough. I am living in abundance. What are you saying to yourself? That mind, that mind that's checking in. I am okay. I got this. Faith, do you have that? Because when we were talking about our affirmation, I thought about, what am I saying to myself? What am I really, honestly, what am I saying to myself and believing? What? Give me some feedback on that.
I think those affirmations are everything. I think they're absolutely everything, and you have to do it, especially if you're doing the self-talk. You have to continue to pump yourself up, because you are your biggest cheerleader, right? So again, the I am statements: I am enough, I am loved, I will be successful. Actually, I have a few in my office right now, and I call them my positive minds. So again, it's very important. And honestly, I want to put a little tidbit in here too, that I feel it's important for everyone to do I am statements, to have those positive minds, but really it's important for our children, and instilling that in them very, very young. Like for me, my 3-year-old cousin Savannah, we talk every single night, and we're working on her I am statements. So she'll get in the mirror, and it means so much when she gets in the mirror and she's like, I am beautiful, or I am smart, I am kind, and all these different things. Because at the end of the day, so many of us struggle with our mental health. And I feel like, particularly for me personally, within these last couple years in my 20s, I really took a deeper dive into my mental health and how I feel about it. But realizing, okay, if I was 4 years old in the mirror saying, these positive I am statements or things like that, I feel like a couple things would probably be different. It wouldn't be so difficult to be in the mirror and say these I am statements or these positive mind statements or whatever the case may be. So I think that they are extremely important. I think that you should do it every single day, even if it's not in the mirror, but definitely when you wake up in the morning, or for me, when I'm on my drive to the office, this is going to be a great day. It may be a busy day, but it's going to be a great day. And also working on reframing. That's one thing that I've been working on consistently over the last couple of months is reframe, because it's difficult. I mean, it's easy to see the negative of a situation. It's difficult to reframe it into a positive situation. So again, I'm going to have a great day at work today. It's going to be a busy day, a packed day, but you know what? It's going to be great. I'm going to have these meetings, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. So it's also important when you're doing your positive minds to know that within that, there may come negative thoughts, but it's very important for you to reframe those negative thoughts back to the positive, because at the end of the day, that's everything. To be positive, to have positive minds, to have your affirmations, and that stabilizes your mental health.
Absolutely. You are saying this is such great nuggets, y'all. Such great nuggets. I want to go and shift real quickly to when we talk about the mental health and in the news. The recent thing that happened down in Virginia, when we talk about mental health, I feel, and I'm very careful of my words, I feel like a generation does not know how to cope with negativity. When you are not granted, you feel like you may be entitled, and when things don't go your way, you don't know how to cope. And we've seen a lot of suicidal situations. We've seen a lot of killing in our schools through young people. Through young people, and I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I can see it in terms of how she processes things. And sometimes she wants to hold things in. I'm like, no, you can't hold things, because that's when the enemy traps you in your mind. And so can you speak to that in terms of what you have seen in the generations, in terms of the mental health, in terms of coping and thinking like there's no way out? And it's either this way or it's that way, and it's no in the middle ground. What do you see, and what is your hope for not only your generation, but the generation, like you said, your cousin? Was your cousin? Yeah, your 3-year-old cousin. What's your hope for that?
My hope is that everyone seeks the support, whatever that looks like, whatever they may need. But also my hope is for society and for the people of this world to give grace as well as check in. I think that's a big thing. I know for me and in my friend group, we check in often. So I think it's very important, especially for your children, to check in with them. And even though they may not, want to speak, or they may not feel comfortable or open, or whatever the case may be, I think it's very important that you still check in with them, and that lets them know that they are, you're thinking about them, that you're on their mind, and you love them. Again, with the affirmations and how you feel about yourself also reflects of what the people around you feel towards you as well. And I really hope that everyone, well, not everyone, but I'm a big advocate for therapy. I think everyone needs therapy at some point in their lives, whether that's for a long time, whether that's for a short period of time, if you're going through something, whatever the case may be. I feel like therapy is crucial nowadays. I feel like majority of the people are in therapy, and it's very helpful. So my hope is that people seek the help that they need, whatever that looks like. It's not always therapy, and that's okay. But whatever is going to help you get out of that space, I think is very important. And I hope that, I think we're in the process of taking out the stigma associated with mental health, and having conversations like these to let people know again that it's okay not to be okay. You're not going to be okay all the time, and that's okay. There's nothing negative about that unless you're addressing it, and until you address it, whether that's in therapy or counseling or with a friend or at school or whatever the case may be. But I think that's the biggest thing I hope for in the future, is that people start having more open, candid conversations People seek the support that they need. People check in with one another because we're all human and everything is not always peaches and cream all the time. And again, that's okay. And also just to ensure that people feel the support and the love that they need in order to move forward.
And I agree with that. I totally agree with that in terms of we allow ourselves some grace. We allow ourselves some grace and accept where we are. And it's great. Now, it's great that we do check in. But there may be someone out there who feels like, I don't have anyone to check in. Because let's be honest, I am blessed with some excellent sister girls who are going to check me. If I'm down, like you said, I can get down. And then one of my favorite girlfriends, she'd be like, I give you 3 days. After 3 days, just like Jesus rose, she said, after the 3rd day, get up. Come on, you walking out of this. And so you have that accountability to make sure that you are going the way you want to go. But it's also making sure that when you're surrounding yourself, you surround yourself, but this is, again, we're talking about our mind, people, that you surround yourself with positivity. Don't surround yourself with anyone that's going to bring you down. That's going to weigh heavy. If I talk to you, Faith, and every time I talk to you, after I finish, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to lay down.
Yeah.
It's draining. No. What I like to do at the end of the year, start reevaluating, where am I? Am at the space, the place that I need to be mentally, emotionally, financially, all of that. Who's in my inner circle? Who needs to be here? And whose season, now this is a tricky one, whose season is done? Whose season is done? Because everyone can go with you. Right. Everyone can go with you. And if you think about what's weighing you down, when you process that, it will be very revealing. But I want to go back to you, and when you're talking about, because I love what you said about the therapist. I have a therapist, and I had one therapist for I think like 6 or 7 years. And she was like, okay, well, we don't really need to talk. And I would find something for us to talk about. I'd be like, wait a minute, I'm not healed yet. Yes. I love it. And like I said, we have to break that stigma, because it's when I love my new therapist now, because we just unpack a couple things. She allows me to talk, and she gives me strategies and tools that I can have some aha moments. She doesn't solve my problems for me. We have discussions so I can see things clear. And so, like you said, having someone to talk to is key, is very important. Now, as we're looking at this and getting ready to wrap it up, but as we're thinking about our mind matters and this holiday season, one thing that I like to do to keep my mind, fresh, I like to read. Now, whether I'm old school, I like to pick up a book. I'm reading the 4 Agreements. Yes, it's a quick read, and one is 4 agreements. And the first thing, the first agreement, be impeccable with your words, meaning be without sin. Be without sin with your words. Second agreement is don't take things personal.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now. Y'all know y'all take things personal. We all do. Hands up. Take things personal. When you stop taking things personal and like it's not really about you, you can look at life differently and your mindset will change. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Now, we all make assumptions. Oh, I'm assuming that I have to be this way. I have to do this. I have to be like the Joneses and the Smiths. Stop making assumptions. You are beautiful. You are wonderful the way you are. And if I don't know, Faith, I'm going to ask. I'm not going to just question and think like, well, I think Faith thinks like, no. Faith, what do you feel? And the last one is always do your best. And so when I'm thinking about my mind, especially in this holiday season, how I'm going to enter in, that's one of the tools that I'm going to use, is making sure that I'm guarding myself. I'm guarding myself and my mind. Give me some strategy, some tools. I know you said to, say no and check on your body. But, this holiday season is not the best for everyone.
Right.
You're looking at measuring yourself, or I should have done this. It's November and I haven't met 5 of my goals. Giving yourself grace. But how do we make sure that our mind will be sharp and ready for a new beginning? What would you say?
Yeah, I can actually speak to this one personally for the holidays. I know for me last year, I actually caught COVID right up to Christmas time. So I had COVID on Christmas, so I wasn't able to spend the time with my family and whatever the case may be. So for me going into this holiday season, honestly, I'm a little triggered. It's a little traumatic for me because I'm like, all right, do I just stop going out? Do I just stop living life because I'm afraid of doing this one thing? I'm going to catch COVID, unfortunately, and I'm going to have to spend my holidays alone again, which is very depressing. So things that I'm doing to kind of reframe is just that, to reframe it and say, hey, okay, last year, it was very difficult, but this year, I'm looking forward to X, Y, and Z. So I think it's very beneficial to work on the reframe. It's very beneficial to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling okay, to address those feelings and say, hey, why is this happening? Why am I feeling like this? Especially during the holiday season. Again, listen to what you need and realize, family is family, but boundaries are boundaries. And I think that's something to really take into account, especially when going into this holiday season, to make sure that you're always respecting your own boundaries, whatever that may look like. So reframe, respect your boundaries, check in with yourself. And I think I've said it all already, is just give yourself some grace, whatever that looks like, and understand it's okay to feel how you feel about the holidays, whatever that may be.
Exactly.
Just respect it, respect yourself, respect your mind, and respect where you are.
Right. And you said it, because when we do that and we know that we are okay, when we affirm ourselves, when we check in, when we listen to our bodies, we operate to the utmost.
Mm-hmm.
We are at our maximum capacity. We have so much that we can do. We are empowered. We are living the way we should live. And we're feeling that way. And so that's where it all starts, everyone. It just starts in the mind. And I know this topic may have been, okay, when you're talking about your mind matters, because it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're crazy, when you're not thinking clearly, how's your decision going? You got to redo some stuff, and you're not thinking on emotional. Oh, when you are emotional, watch how you make decisions. I don't make decisions out of emotions. I make decisions when I'm clear. I don't respond. I don't react. I respond. Reacting is coming straight forward. It's a noun thing. When you respond, you process. You seek clarity. And that's what I want us to do, because our mind matters. Because I believe that we have all are called. We all have a story. We all have a purpose out here. In order for us to do what God has called and ordained us to do, you first got to know it.
Absolutely.
It starts in your mind. You got to believe it. You got to get the clutter out and see clarity and operate in that gift. So you know what? I'm excited because I do believe that, everyone understands the importance of this topic. And so, Faye, any closing words that we have that you just want to, thank, or where, tell us about what you're going to be doing next, because saying a good government job, I got one too, but there's another side of faith. So tell me, as a young, successful, prominent African-American boss lady that you are, what are your dreams? You see, a dream is something that you make happen versus a wish that you wish to happen. So what are your dreams and your goals that where we can find you in this new space and place?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So for me particularly, as I stated before, how we sort of met, of course, was in our sorority, but in my position as regional representative, I had a lot of different opportunities to travel and to speak in front of large crowds. And I realized that is my favorite place to be. So speaking in front of large crowds, providing motivation, discussing topics like this. So my dreams would be to continue this passion in public speaking, being able to attend different forums and attend different environments in different places around the world to leave that place a little better than when I found it. And also a small goal I have is to start my own podcast. So that is in the works as well, something I'm definitely looking forward to. But again, my passions, like I said, include public service, community service, public speaking, whatever the case may be. Those are things that I absolutely love to do. So I hope one day that I'm able to turn this into a full-time career, because again, that's the main goal here, to love what you do. And again, leave the place a little better than when you found it. But for closing remarks here, I just want to thank you all for your time and attention. And I wish you all the absolute best, and to remember that it's okay not to be okay, but it's important to seek the resources and help that you need when you are not okay. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season. And again, thank you for the opportunity, and be sure that you're taking great care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Faith. Thank you. Well, you've heard it. You've heard it, that why your mind matters. Aaron, I heard it. I hope you heard it. I hope out there that you understand. Take care of yourself. Check in. Seek your resources that you need. Give yourself some grace. And no is a complete sentence. And that's how you can continue to live your life on purpose and empowered, and meet people on the other side.
Hey, LaTanya, thank you so much. I know you gotta go, so I really want to thank you for your time. And like you said, I will see you on the other side. Genius is coming, and we will see you on the other side. So now that we know that LaTanya and Faith really are trying to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves mentally, I want to take the time to thank the sponsors that made it possible for them to come on the show today. The Black Business Expo, the mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students, and you may go to blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or you can use the Cash App that's on the screen below. And that Cash App is $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online to be able to get this at blackbusinessexpousa.com. And believe this or not, everybody, every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We also want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for this month of November 2022. We have North Carolina 100, Black Leaders Worldwide, Growth Empowerment Motivation Support LLC, Executive Women's Success Institute, Sweetheart Mitchell Collection, Carolina Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Creative Force Studios, Work the Thing Supplements, Lotus Ritchie Ignites, Business Group Network, Stocks versus Sneakers, First Atlantic Insurance, Moody Capital, BHS Associates, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Margie McLean Foundation, Live Shackle Free, Uniquely Different Enterprises, and of course, Genius is coming. And like we always say, Genius is coming. And we will see you on the other side. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, everybody. See you then.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of...
Oh, no, yeah.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of Princess Planet. So, genius is common, and as a kid, I loved to daydream. Even as an adult, I love to daydream. And when my daughter became 6 and loved princess characters, but we just could not find the diversity that showed her, we created our own characters. So, for instance, you have Princess Nulu right here. Princess Nulu is from Uganda, and her genius is that she loves to take care of animals. She can actually even listen and hear what they say. And then we have Princess Isabella right here. Princess Isabella, she's from Cuba, and her genius is biochemistry. One day she hopes to eliminate disease. Then we have Princess Nia right here. And Princess Nia is based off of my daughter. And she is what she wants to be, the greatest dancer alive. So that's her genius. So what's your genius? My genius is my imagination. Genius is common.
You are watching The View from Hampton U, exploring Hampton University's rich history, the past, present, and promising future.
Welcome to Hampton University and The View from Hampton U. Today we're going to examine a movement that is said to be taking the nation by storm. The Genius is Common movement has emboldened young people throughout the nation, and that has also happened here at Hampton University. Let's take a look at what some of our students have to say about being a genius.
Hi, my name is Gavin Harden, and my genius is to be able to give off positive vibes and spread a smile. Genius is common.
My name is Brianna Lomax, and my genius is artistic expression through writing and showing compassion to everyone I meet. Genius is common.
My name is Atia Strange, and my genius is the power of expression. Art is universal. I sing, I draw, I film, I photograph. Genius is common.
My name is Maya Harris, and my genius consists of all the gifts that God has given to me. I am a giver, I am passionate about bringing ideas to life, and I have mastered the concept of finding the good in everything. Genius is common.
My name is Diamond Sidmore. My genius is acknowledging the beauty in my own mistakes while challenging others to do the same in order to cultivate and grow. Genius is common.
My name is Almajid Edwards. A lot of people think genius is about being talented or being smart. It's not true. Genius is about influence. Whether it's an equation, whether you're reading or writing, research, harmonies, what have you, genius is about the opportunity, the moment of impact where you can influence another person and uplift them. My genius is poetry. Genius is common.
Hampton University has a long-standing history of supporting geniuses and the movements that they create. For example, General Chapman Armstrong established this great institution in 1868. And did you know that Booker T. Washington was also an alum of Hampton University? I could go on and on about the geniuses who've come through these doors and have exited to go out into the world to make a great difference. That's what's important to us. That's what's important about the Genius is Common movement. What is your genius? You should take the time to think about that today. So thank you for watching The View from Hampton U. And remember, genius is truly common.
Join us next week for another
Hello, my name is Rochelle. I am 11 years old, and my genius is entrepreneurship, and my genius is common. I have been hard at work, and my genius at the age of 8 when I asked my parents to buy me an ice cream cart for my 8th birthday. Why? Because I love ice cream and I knew that 99.9% of the world loves ice cream too. I started my business because I wanted to make my own money, give to my school's missionary, help my family, and buy my own toys. While working in my genius, I have learned a lot about business and what it takes to be successful. I quickly learned that hard work, determination, and perseverance are the standard qualities you need to succeed. However, in my 4 years as a business owner, I have learned things that you can't learn from a book, like the true meaning of customer service. Great customer service is how you sincerely say thank you to each person who spends their money with you. I have learned that there are more people praying for me to succeed than those who are not. I have learned that people are always watching and are expecting great things from me. I can't imagine letting them down. I have learned that I must lift as I rise, and that I must be my brother's keeper. I have learned that it is very important to give back to the people, the causes, and the community where I live. I have also learned that once I become a billionaire, I will be well on my way to becoming a billionaire and to changing the world by providing jobs and opportunities to others. I'm Boshel, the little icing dude, and my genius is coming.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
There's no one solution to dismantling racism. There's no one solution to decentering whiteness or supremacy. I am Merrill Holloway, and I'm the Executive Director of NC 100. NC 100 is based in the Central Piedmont region of Rockingham County, North Carolina. We are located centrally in the state, and we are connected to local leaders, but we are also connected statewide. We are connected to people who believe in community organizing, and that is a way to help build a better North Carolina.
So everybody knows about the Tulsa, Oklahomas and the Durham, North Carolinas and the rich history of black economic development and all those things and the race riots in Wilmington. But, you know, in a rural community like Reedsville, where I grew up here in Rockingham County, there was this rich, thriving community where there was economic prosperity and all of this wonderful economic freedom where people felt engaged and there was this civic engagement because people had this inclusion piece, and it seemed like it disappeared overnight. Racial justice work can't be divided from economic justice work. I am standing in front of Mechanic and Farmers Bank on the very famous Parish Street. I personally have been involved in black economic development work here in Durham, and I believe that is this type of work and the type of relationships that I've been able to form here in the Triangle that's going to benefit Rockingham County and other places.
Mission Possible with Nubia Media by 5 Star BDM. a 10-year-old founder of a company. Meet Carter, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Aaron Couch. I'm your business moderator for this hour on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker for this evening is Ira Revels. Ira completed her consulting courses at the Cornell University John School of Management under the leadership of McKinsey Consulting Principal. As a private advisor, she currently supports institutional and individual clients with their business development, impact investing, and digital transformation goals. So, at this time, everybody, I would like to present to you Ira Revels.
Hi, Aaron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Ira?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's great to be here. Of course, genius is common, and I always enjoy spending my time with folks at the Black Business Olympics and Black Business Expo.
Well, I'm glad you do. And you know what? You're right. Genius is common, and I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to see you on the other side. All right?
On the other side. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Once again, my name is Ira Revels, and I am the founder of Gram. That's a grant writing platform that uses AI to simplify the grant writing process. And today I wanted to really talk to you about funding for your small business. There are a number of ways that we can actually think about funding for your small business. There's some topics I want to talk about as I go through the sort of list of actual grants. So I hope you have a pen and pad ready, because I really want to give you some incredible value from my talk today. And I want to start off by pointing out perhaps 3 key things as you are considering how to fund your small business. And the first of those actually is, who are you and what are you actually hoping to accomplish long term? I think that a lot of times when small business owners, when entrepreneurs consider ways that they can fund their small business, perhaps they need to first of all think about doing that bit of due diligence that helps get them to a point where they can be able to do an elevator pitch, if you will, and explain to people, basically, what is your business? Just like I did when I started this conversation, I basically told you that I'm the founder of a grant writing platform that uses AI to simplify the grant writing process. That is a super short pitch, and it also pretty much gives you the goal of my project, goal of my business, the objectives, obviously simplifying the process of grant writing, and also that I have a platform that does this and accomplishes this. And so I think as you're thinking about ways to engage people in your brand and engage people in your small business, you've got to be able to simply explain very short, as I mentioned, elevator pitch. And as you can imagine, an elevator ride can be a short ride, right? Sometimes you're going to the first few floors, or sometimes you might be heading to the 10th or 12th floor, right? So, but however, you want to be able to explain your objectives and your goals for your business in a very short way. And so doing the due diligence, as I mentioned, looks like being able to talk to, speak to, and understand in your own way exactly what you want to accomplish with your business. I like to ask folks, what do you see yourself doing every day? How do you see yourself spending your day actually working in your small business? Are you actually selling products? Do you have a line of items that you're selling on the market? Are they online primarily? Do you actually have a brick and mortar space where you actually have to go every day to make sales? Who are you actually talking to, right? Who is your business speaking to? Who are your potential clients? And so when I talk about knowing your business, being aware of what you want to accomplish and who you're actually talking to, doing that due diligence is extremely important. Now, I want to mention a little bit about the second item that I think is very important. A lot of times we think about starting businesses. I was speaking to a woman just earlier this week, and she was talking about, I started my business right around 2020. I saw a need and I wanted to fill it. And I basically jumped right in and I started delivering the service. It got really popular, but I found myself putting more and more money into the business and not really being able to recover and recoup my actual expenses. And so you have to look at what you're doing and determine whether or not you're able to break even. Are you putting more money into the business and just jumping right in and starting to do the work? And I do find in my line of work, which involves raising lots of money, I've raised at least about a little over $8 million since 2020 for small businesses and nonprofits here in the Hartford region in Connecticut, where I am. And I find that we often jump right in, especially as women. The number one demographic in this country that starts businesses actually is Black women. And so by jumping right in and not taking a minute to sort of think through the types of operational issues that we'll face as business owners can create a problem. And we might find ourselves later on, obviously in this woman's case, who I was speaking to earlier this week, but are frustrated with the process, not really making any money, not breaking even, and not able to sustain the business to the point where she actually ended up having to go back to work. And so working for someone else, you're not obviously fulfilling your own goals and you're not working for yourself. You're basically fulfilling, as I like to point out, someone else's dreams. And so ideally what you want to be able to do is really spend some time thinking about and planning for your small business. And what that entails is something that I'll mention is the first thing that funders, whether they be loans and banks, whether they might even be sometimes your friends and family, which is often what we talk about in the startup space, our first line of funders, right? That friends and family round. A lot of times these folks do want to also see your business plan. And so without sitting down and going through your process, we call it due diligence, without understanding exactly what your operation looks like and how it's going to work day in and day out, figuring out how you're actually going to recoup costs and expenses, because, you know, running a business is not an easy endeavor. It does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of thought, and it also takes a lot of dedication. But if you're not being able to recoup the costs that you're actually pulling out of your own pocket, a lot of times, like I said, bootstrapping or getting funds from your family and friends, the latter, people eventually decide, I can't do it. I can't loan you the money. I can't keep you afloat. You've got to figure out how to do this on your own. And so basically, doing the kind of work that's necessary to develop a business plan is very helpful. The third thing I would like to point out, of course, is once you have an idea of what you're doing, how you're going to do it, you have an elevator pitch, and you also now have a business plan, you want to sort of think about, okay, what type of funding might I be eligible for? And what types of funding is available to me, and where do I go find it? And so with regard to types of funding, there are any number of funding opportunities, especially now after 2020. There are a number of opportunities that COVID-19, through the federal government, through state and local government, through corporations, and through a number of other organizations and or agencies, if you will, has come up with, great opportunities to actually find funding. But armed with your business plan and a good idea of what you're doing, there are some local corporate grants that are available. So things like, for example, Comcast Rise. There's something called the Amber Grant. There are a number of grants if you are a woman, if you're a woman of color, if you are any number of demographics out there, if your actual area and your discipline is technology, there's the SBIR. It's a grant that's focused on technology and innovation, and it's provided by the federal government. There are a number of various types of aggregators of grant opportunities and places you can go, such as the grants.gov website. So, for example, we'll talk about grants.gov. The government has to get the work done. And so the government can make available funding opportunities, whether you're an individual, a small business, or a nonprofit, or a municipality, a state. It could make grant opportunities available to you, and you simply need to go to grants.gov and you can browse those opportunities and you can narrow down your search depending on whether or not you want to find out what current opportunities are available. You can look at that by date. You can actually look at what forecasted opportunities are available. And these are grants that'll be available perhaps in the next year or 2 or 5. A lot of times they do place that information as well on grants.gov. Now, going back to some of the corporate funding opportunities, if you are interested in corporate grants, you simply need to do your own, search for them. You can also go to my website, grwaam.com. It's graham.com. And you can access, I have an RSS feed of opengrants.io. So Open Grants is a platform that enables you to search and browse for different types of grants. And you can also save those grants in lists and then access those grants. Anything you might find that you like, you simply go on, select it, and you can get a brief sort of synopsis of what the grant opportunity is about, and then you can save that. And so there are a number of ways to find this information. And I would say that since 2020, particularly since COVID-19, there are way too many, not even too many, but there's so many funding opportunities available. I think it's simply a matter of deciding, once you know the type of business that you operate, it's easy to then go to do some type of search and actually be able to look at what funding opportunities are available. And so you want to be able to do this and then determine, okay, I've found a few opportunities out there, I've done my search, and now I can be about the business of actually coming up with that list and then digging more deeply into the requirements. Once you've identified grants, here's another thing that's important is to be able to look through. I like to look at, the first three to five things that I like to actually make myself familiar with about the funding opportunity is, first of all, when is it due? Because if it's a funding opportunity, particularly with a grant, there are different due dates, there are different qualifications that you must meet, and there are a number of other considerations that you want to make before you apply for the grant or before you hire a grant writer. Sometimes there are a variety of papers and other types of documents that you need to be able to provide so that you actually are able to qualify for the funding opportunity. And so you want to be able to walk through that grant application and understand what those qualifications and requirements are before you get into the writing part. One of the things that I've noticed lately that is really kind of cool is the fact that if you're looking at some of these corporate grants that are available, whether it's through Verizon, Comcast, SoGal is another opportunity that's out there, SoGal Foundation, any number of these. A lot of times lately, they simply want you to fill out a very simple, perhaps 5 or 10 question survey. And at the end of that survey, they often want you to provide a 30-second video with you delivering a pitch about your business. And so I've found these applications to be super simple. There are numbers of those things available online, and you simply need to be able to fill out the form and then provide your 30-second video pitch. And so if you're able to do that, if you find these opportunities, I would say some of them range from anywhere from $2,000 or even lower, $500 all the way up to $50,000. And a lot of these opportunities have rolling submissions. And what that simply means is they're constantly taking submissions, and perhaps even monthly, they're offering, they're basically announcing winners and offering opportunity for different people to get access to these funds. And so I find that those are really simple, and you could probably in a day go through at least 5 or more of these really simple applications. I would say at the end of the day, if you're interested in writing grants and understanding how to write grants and get those opportunities, you really need to think about, first of all, how much time do you have? because there are really pros and cons. If you're looking at grants, if you're looking at loans, if you're looking at things like lines of credit, if you're looking at actually using credit cards to start your business, all of these things require time. All of these opportunities require you to be aware of what the actual requirements are, determine whether you qualify, and then also, like I said, the biggest pros tend to be that, particularly if we're in the grant space, grants are competitive. And I don't think that a lot of folks understand that. I get a lot of calls, I get a lot of inquiries from folks who say, finding me a grant for, remodeling my house. And I can say that these things are possible, but at the end of the day, it's you and however many other thousands of people who are actually trying to find a grant for remodeling your house. And I think that I've been on various sides of the funding opportunity, and that includes understanding, here are a series of applications from folks. So I've been on the reviewer side, I've been on the writing an RFP, so folks can actually apply side. I've been on the applicant side. I currently have a grant that I won. So I'm currently in a position where I'm now going through the process of setting up my contract and actually negotiating terms with the funder, making sure that I understand what my reporting requirements are. And so this is yet another point that I'm making about pros and cons. If you are working in your business and you perhaps don't have the time, and this is one of the biggest cons that I think people find themselves faced with as solo entrepreneurs or as entrepreneurs in general, or executives of nonprofits. I've got a great idea. I know it can get funding. I'm going to go find a grant. It's going to help me because, after all, grants are, quote, air quotes, free money, right? Money that doesn't have to necessarily be paid back. But just because the money doesn't have to be paid back doesn't mean that there aren't other requirements that you have to meet and other responsibilities that you actually have as a result of doing those activities and getting that funding. And so I think the idea here is being able to get the funds and then also being very familiar with the requirements and the type of commitment that you're going to have to make to carry out and execute the actual award once you receive it. If you're not familiar with that, that can put you in a really awful situation, because especially if you get the funding, you want to be able to execute. And I think, a lot of times when folks are getting funding, they're seeking funding, they're successful, the reality is, you have to be able to pull together all of the types of resources in terms of programs, in terms of technology, people, facilities, and as well, all of the other types of things that you may be faced with, consultants, contracts, and any variety of other types of situations you might be faced with when you're actually executing, And so it's one thing to have a great idea, but it's a totally different thing to be able to execute on that idea. And a lot of times I think that particularly as entrepreneurs, we go into, as I was saying earlier, these spaces where we're doing business and we're executing before we've really taken time to plan the actual work and the actual sustainability of the effort. And so I just want to point all of these things out because I think that, I'm seeing quite a number of folks getting funding, and this is really awesome. And then, of course, there are lots of folks who don't get funding. I'm happy to be a part of a current situation where I'm a part of a Pitch Awards event as well as fun that I'm working with a local agency here in Connecticut to put together. And it will enable people to receive funding at the point of inspiration. And then they will receive, once they've actually competed for this Pitch Awards, they will actually receive technical support to carry out their work and the business that they have created. And so I believe that tech enhanced businesses are going to be extremely important, particularly as Black business owners as we move forward. There are any number of opportunities in that tech space for us to actually deliver stellar businesses. And I think that that's going to become far more important. If you have a retail space and you're doing anything related to e-commerce, you're going to find yourself, especially if you're using Shopify and you have a Shopify store and you're able to learn various techniques that can help to expand your business and elevate your brand. I think that's going to be extremely important. And my suggestion is definitely begin to look into mentoring. A lot of times we don't think about these kinds of things, and we're not sure how to go about getting the kind of resources we need. And so every state, for example, has a SCORE, that's SCORE. It's a mentoring program. And you simply go to the website, score.org, and you can actually type in your zip code and you can find your local SCORE office. And these are sometimes retired business owners, executives, entrepreneurs who are actually giving back, and they're actually sharing their knowledge and potentially even their network to help you get your business off ground. And so you can take advantage of that. Another place that I think a lot of folks don't think about initially when they're actually working on their business is their state. Every state has a Department of Economic and Community Development. And I think that if you go to your website, whatever the name of your state is, here it's ct.gov, and you check out the Department of Economic and Community Development, you're able to actually learn that there are any number of agencies and sub agencies within the state that actually can help you. Going to your state Secretary of State website, going to your Department of Economic and Community Development website at the state, and then learning more about the various ecosystems of small business resources and support is extremely important. And so a lot of times folks don't realize, where can I find support? Where can I find more information? How do I get interns? How do I get connected to different colleges and universities that offer intern programs? How do I even potentially hire folks if I'm a startup? Those things can often be provided through, your tax dollars. You already pay for a lot of these programs, and businesses, small businesses that are making at least $1 million or more, as well as larger corporations, know that these programs exist. And so the important thing is for you to actually take some time, as I mentioned when I started talking today, take time and actually do your due diligence and learn about all of these resources that are already provided to you through your state agencies. There are any other number of resources. Obviously, the SBA, Small Business Association, exists, and it exists primarily for small businesses. If you're a veteran, there are any number of small business programs specifically for veterans, and so you can take advantage of those as well. If you're in the LGBT community, you can also take advantage of certifications that allow you to take, obviously, advantage of different types of business opportunities and funding even for LGBTQ plus small businesses, and as well various types of other types of businesses like nonprofits or something. But the point I'm making here is there is a variety of places for resources such as funding, mentoring, as well as operational support. And I think that starting with your state, starting with some of the corporate grants that are available, and actually, I think the one thing that I want to leave you all with is this idea that I think is super important. As you're putting together your small business and really trying to get a good understanding of what the resources are that are available to you, should you decide to walk down the path of grants, obviously you can contact me, set up a meeting through my platform. But also, you want to be able to develop a relationship with the program officer at the foundation that you're writing a grant to. And I cannot stress this enough. A lot of these funding opportunities are based on persistence, are based on you having your stuff really prepared and ready, you doing your due diligence, and really understanding what you need to do and being prepared and doing what you have done, such as building your business plan. A lot of times, knowing that you can go to the state or you can go to SCORE or any number of nonprofits that are available in your state to actually find funding opportunities as well as other resources like mentors, interns, and many things that you need to start your business, even if it's technical support. Number of community foundations where you are in your state and in your city that offer all of the types of technical resources and support that you might need to actually operate your business. And so don't stay in a silo, right? Don't find yourself in a place where you're saying, oh my God, I've been trying to do this and I've been trying to run this nonprofit and I'm nearly broke and I'm barely done this on a shoestring for years and I don't know exactly what to do. Find yourself doing the actual work of planning, and I would say do more planning at the onset than executing, although you do need to demonstrate that you can execute and that you can do the work. But it's important that you're also obviously, you've also got some direction and you know exactly where you want to go and what you want to do, and that you're able to tell your story. Because after all, we are all, we all have brands, and attention, whether it's through social media or through any number of these opportunities that I've pointed out, all of these are related to attention and require attention, someone else's attention. And so to get people's attention, I think it's important that obviously you know what you're talking about and that you're confident in what you're saying and that you can actually back it up with and demonstrate how you've actually accomplished something in the past that helps people realize, okay, I think that this is someone I want to take a chance on, perhaps. But any number of these things are available to you. And as I pointed out, it's extremely important that you keep in mind just a few things that I've mentioned. And so I'll go back over them really quickly. First thing, who are you? What are you doing? Can you actually create a short elevator pitch that tells us the goal and objectives and actually how you help, right? So what are you doing to help and how do you help? And be able to do that fairly quickly so that folks say, you know what, I think I want to know more. That's the idea with the elevator pitch. And then, of course, by the time you've gotten to that point, you want to have determined what your business plan is. Who are you actually serving? What are you actually providing? What is the value? What is the business? And so the business plan has at least 7 to 9 different elements to it. And that business plan can help you understand all of those things because you're asking all of these questions. What does my revenue look like? What does my actual inputs look like? Expenses. What are the types of things that I need to buy in order to make my business successful? What are the marketing channels? Where am I going to actually be selling? Am I going to primarily be online? Am I going to be face to face? Who is my team? This is extremely important. I was at a Black Business Expo earlier this month, and one of the key points that was brought up by a gentleman from a financial advisor firm, he basically pointed out they rarely fund solopreneurs. So the one thing that they look at is they look at your team. And if your team is composed of people who actually are executors and can get the work done, and your team actually works well together, then those financial advisory people, those potential funders, those grant funders, they're going to want to take a chance on you, right? Because they're going to know that clearly your team is cohesive and your team is capable. And I think that a lot of times, once again, we go into small business, but we don't realize that even though we individually might be able to execute, we still need a team to actually sustain and carry the workload as well to do even more than we probably could have imagined, obviously, that we're trying to do on our own. And I think the other point I was going to make sure we understand is that there are a lot of funding opportunities. And if you just sit down and start with some of the places that are already available to you, a lot of your colleges and universities locally have various types of small business and entrepreneurial programs, have cooperative and rural cooperative extension programs, and they get funding from the federal government so that they can provide you, anyone, students or not, with the types of information that will be helpful for your small business or your nonprofit. And so a lot of times we don't realize that we can actually tap into these resources and then use them to actually improve what may have started off as just a great idea, but actually could turn into something even bigger, because now we're putting and connecting all the dots and putting all of the resources in place and at use. And so I'm only suggesting some of the things that have worked for me over the years. And I've been in business for myself. I've been consulting and as well building my own various businesses for a number of years, over 10 years. And I would say, failing forward is okay. If you start a business, if it doesn't work out, you fail, it's okay, because that failure is also teaching you something. And so a lot of times, it's like if you didn't know that some of these resources and opportunities exist that I mentioned through my talk tonight, I think that now you know, and hopefully you were able to write some of these things down. But it's very simple. I think that you simply want to begin with the resources that are right there in your community. And this is everywhere. All of these resources are available to you, whether it be through the state, whether it be locally through your municipality, whether it be through the city government. These places are, websites or places you can actually go and get this information. I think one of the last things I'll say is to support your business plan and to do your market research. A lot of times folks aren't aware of the fact that there are data portals all over, whether it be your state. So you'd simply type whatever name of your state is and .data and then .gov, or you would go to your municipality. And so the city of Hartford, for example, has a data portal that you can use to learn everything you can even imagine. All the census data is really broken down specifically for the city of Hartford or Connecticut State, demographic data, business data, and as well any number of data that can be very important for your small business and your research purposes. So be aware of data portals and the power of data portals and sort of mining those data portals for information to help you develop your business plan, develop your marketing and feasibility study, complete grant applications that require research and data, so that you can demonstrate that you understand who you're actually going to be impacting and the degree to which you're going to be impacting a particular community. A lot of folks don't know data portals. They exist. Take advantage of them as well. I would say, I think the final few things that I want to point out is, like I said, fail forward. Don't give up. And actually, your ability to be resilient and your ability to stay motivated and stay encouraged is extremely important. And if you're looking for funding and you find yourself getting, turned down, especially if it's loans, and you're going through the traditional finance route and you're getting turned down constantly. I was on a call today. This gentleman had gotten turned down, I believe it was 25 times for a traditional loan. And through the SBA and through some of the other resources that he'd gone into, and banks, I think specifically, but he finally, the 26th opportunity was the one that actually helped him get funding. And now he's able to start his farm and start his business. And he was able to break even in about 3 months with his business model. And one of the things that he said is a lot of the actual banks wanted different scenarios. So he walked in with a business plan and they said, that's not enough. We want to actually consider different scenarios of your business. And can you then go back and give us this information, only for him to come back with the information and be turned down. But doing that type of research has helped him now expand his business and do some amazing things that now he's been in business with the funding that he needs, and he's about to actually expand. And so sometimes the no ends up being the opportunity that you need to learn and do additional things that you didn't even know you could be able to do. You didn't know the type of resilience that you had. And so stay encouraged, never give up, and always do your due diligence, because genius is coming.
And you know what, Ira, that is so correct. And I'm going to tell you, I got a ton of questions. I know we don't have time. I mean, yeah. I got questions that I could just interview you with. And the fact that you're up in Hartford, because I went to UConn for a brief spell, I'm just loving your vibe, because you talked about one thing that I know a lot of people have. It's like the biggest roadblock. We know there are grants out there. We know they're there, but how do you find them? How do you find what you're looking for? Because a lot of times when I speak to grant writers, they say, okay, have you found a grant that meets what you want? Well, I don't know where to even look. I don't know where to go. That's the biggest question. And you touched on so much that is interesting. Like you mentioned SCORE. SCORE is like my personal think tank. I got a guy, I'm in the Northern Virginia area in DC. So I got a guy with SCORE, he's down in Richmond. And as I'm working on trying to get new clients, just being able to bounce information off of him. And for this being a person who, has, like you said about SCORE, has been out there, there's been a consultant, who's been in the mix, you're able to actually think as an independent entrepreneur to actually move forward. That is great. And then when you get to trying to find the financing, I think that's what a lot of people
they stumble.
Yeah.
And again, like I pointed out, I think a lot of folks don't understand that with financing, no matter what type of financing it is, the first thing you have to consider is what you're doing. And the more you know about what your business wants to do, And the more you know about the kind of value that you're bringing with your business, the better position you are to actually walk into those rooms and say, I know what I'm doing. I know who I am. This is the value that I bring. This is the audience. This is how I market. And this is some evidence of what I've done. Here's the research. Here's the impact. And I think those types of entrepreneurs and executives who walk into those rooms, whether it be a funder that's a grant funder or an actual line of credit, like with a traditional funding source like a bank or a loan, with a loan, I think you're in a better position to actually get the funding, right? Yeah, because you know who you are and you're confident about what you're doing. A lot of times, like I said, a lot of folks jump right in and they say, "I'm gonna just start delivering the goods," you know. I'm gonna sell these T-shirts, or I'm gonna whatever it is, you know. But at the end of the day, if you don't know what your longer term or short term, midterm, long term plans, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, because think about a lot of the businesses, for example, that had to pivot in 2020. Nobody was prepared for that. Nobody. Right? There are a lot of businesses that were started. I started a media company in 2020, now has funding, got funding, startup funding immediately, actually. There also, there are folks who started things that didn't survive in 2020. So they started in 2020, but they couldn't make it work because, it was sort of like, here's an opportunity, let me jump right in, but they couldn't make it work. Or they tried to pivot. Like, think about all the restaurants, the really awesome spaces that went out of business.
Yeah. So, and what you're talking about when you mention your guy, the 26th time, the way that he benefited though was that he had to keep going back, but as he's going back, he's gathering all this information, all this data, and that data became not only valuable, but it's also like a blueprint to what he has to do next. So when you look at what he did, and you look at somebody who's putting together a business plan, trying to find a grant, working with SCORE. Like I said, I got a ton of questions. I'm gonna tell Pop that he need to bring you back on so I could just ask you all these questions for an hour, because
we can do a fireside chat, man.
Yeah, I mean,
we
that
could
was
do
great
like a
stuff.
fireside. Yeah, because I think team at GRWAAM is how you, .com, team@graham.com is how you can reach me.
Okay.
Folks can actually go to graham.com, GRW, Grant Research, Writing, and Award Management, and .com, and actually book an appointment. And what happens is once you book that appointment, I'm able to walk you through a series of questions, and we simply do like we're doing right now, having a conversation. And through the semantic language, which is the language that you speak normally when you're talking to people, that's called semantic language when we're speaking about artificial intelligence. But through semantic language, I'm able to capture exactly what your goal, your objectives are, and generally what you want to accomplish in a letter of intent, and turn that letter of intent around in about 30 minutes. I'll send it back to you based on a conversation, 30-minute conversation that you and I would have. And, you're able to then take that letter and, use that potentially for funding opportunities that might be potential opportunities you could apply for. Sometimes funders just simply want to know who might be applying. So they'll do a letter of intent and a call, and you respond to that, and then they can actually see. So yeah, I'm able to do that for you in like 30 minutes. That's no charge because it's just demonstrating the skills and abilities. But sometimes, you hire the grant writer and the application, as well as the required paperwork, and as well, budgets and budget narratives. Those are pretty long, sometimes 10, 20 or so pages, depending on what you're doing, depending on the amounts you're asking for. But it's all possible. And like I said, just know what you're doing, I think, is the ultimate point. And don't give up. Those are the 2 points I think I can leave us all with.
Hey, well, I would tell you, Ira, this has been great. I'm going to reach out to my pop to make sure I have your information. I know we got it all right here, but it's been great to have you on here. And once again, genius is common, and hopefully I will definitely be seeing you on the other side. All right?
Enjoy talking to you. Thank you,
You have a
Aaron.
great evening now. Thank you. Hey, look, everybody, the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below. And that Cash App contact connection is $BBXUSA. Now, look, our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to students. Students can also register for this online, also at blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you all to donate. And now we also would like to take the time to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for this month. We have NC 100, Black Leaders Worldwide, Growth Empowerment Motivation Support LLC, Executive Women's Success Institute, Sweetheart Mitchell Collection, Carolina Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Creative Force Studios, Work the Thing Supplements, Lotus Ritchie Ignites, Business Group Networks, Stocks versus Sneakers, First Atlantic Insurance, Moody Capital, BHS Associates, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Margie McLean Foundation, Live Shackle Free, Uniquely Different Enterprises, Techno Consulting, Black Multiverse Enterprises LLC, and of course, Genius is Common, and of course, also the Black Business Expo USA. And everybody, as we get ready to take a 15-minute break, please remember that genius is common, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with Work That Thing supplements.
Hello. Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
Hey, it's your girl Colette V. Smith. The V is for
It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you've come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professionals can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start bossing today.
A 10-year-old founder of a company, meet Carter, ladies and gentlemen.
La connexion. La connexion.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious?
I totally think that that's it.
Hey.
No!
Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows who he is and what he wants.
Okay.
He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like,
Baby, be you.
Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the Be You collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion Superstore.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. a place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land, a place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be, a safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City, USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know? A student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be losing, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Hello, this is Israel, and I
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you?
Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Aaron Couch. I'm your business moderator for this hour and for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Next up, everybody, we have Richard Carroll. Richard Carroll is a cryptocurrency educator, a Airbnb educator, and Web 3.0 educator. And he will be talking about the 40 Acres Conference coming up. Everybody, please welcome Mr. Richard Carroll.
How everybody doing today? Welcome. Mr. Aaron, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be on this call today.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on, Richard. And as we say, genius is common, and we will see you on the other side. Go ahead and do work, my man. Talk to you soon.
Most definitely, brother. Again, my name is Richard Carroll. I'm the founder and CEO of Wealthy Made Investments, and I sit on board as the head speaker on the speaking committee of the 40 Acres Conference. The founder is Alan Thornton. So what we're going to be doing coming up in this upcoming next year, January 13th, 14th, 15th, we're going to be having an event. Number one, our main focus is sponsoring the kids. But what we're going to be doing, we're going to be bringing in Houston, Texas, one of the biggest events that has ever been here, right? We're going to be talking about business, finance, right? The metaverse. We're going to be talking about Web3 development, and we're going to allow people to have the opportunity to be able to come out and hear different speakers speak on these different subjects. In addition, anybody who's willing to come out, if you want to be able to promote or market your business, we'll have vendor spots. If you want to be a sponsor, we have sponsor spots as well. We also have different individuals who can come in and assist, right? If you want to be a volunteer, if you want to help out with the event, feel free to do so. What you can do, you can actually go to 40acresconference.org and you can find all the information there. You can also follow us on YouTube at 40 Acres Conference, and all the information will entail on there. So that's what we'll be doing on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. A lot of things is taking place. A lot of times, we tend to not understand the power of conferences, right? We lack so much information in our community. So why not put something together and be able to introduce it to your community? So that's what we're doing. We're going to be here in Houston, Texas at the Post. So anybody who want to learn more information, again, go to 40acresconference.org. So a lot of times, something that I found out previously, while working with Mr. Allen, putting things together, a lot of people tend to say certain things about conferences on, what it brings to the table. So just to go in order of, what this event is going to entail and what it's going to bring to the table. Number one, what it will do for the kids who will be in attendance, the 500 kids who we plan on sponsoring, right? This will give them an opportunity to not only be a part of a special event, but they'll also have the opportunity to be able to promote and learn the concepts of starting a business, right? There are a lot of people who tend not to understand the foundations of starting a business. Therefore, we will show them and we will actually introduce to them the foundations of business. On top of that, outside of business and finance, if anyone is an artist, if anyone tends to be in a digital world, we will have an art show. We will also have different fundraising events in the process, including golf tournaments. We will have different tournaments, that anyone will have access to. So this is the event that you want to be at. And again, it's on January 13, 14, and 15 in Houston, Texas. I'm 23. And the reason I mention that, again, because Mr. Alan Thornton, right, the founder, we had a conversation. And, one of the biggest things that, that I have respect for him in is, not looking at ages, right? A lot of time people tend to look at ages and experience to do business with an individual, right? But our conversation was very genuine. And the reason I bring that up because his main objective working with the kids, right, is to be able to get young individuals like myself, right, to be at these events. So long term, generation to generation, we can continue to have these events, the 40 Acres Conference, every single year, right? This is our third year anniversary. So we are doing bigger things every single year. We're trying to make things better every year, adding different ideas every single year. So anyone will have access to that. Again, it will all be located on the 40acresconference.org page. One of the biggest things that Mr. Allen, that he always talk about, you know, in regards to this event, is just the networking, right? You never know who you'll meet, right? So we're talking about a room where we're looking to have anywhere from 10 to 15,000 people at this event. So, you know, it's an opportunity for you to be able to meet people that you've never came across, people that you probably come across once in a lifetime, right? We want to have people from all areas, right? We want to have international speakers. We want to have professional athletes here. We want to have people who are professional in the real estate game, in Airbnb game, right? NFT game, crypto game. You know, we want to have a lot of people here. Therefore, there is no reason why we should not have anybody in the building, right? We always talk about having having freedom, right? Being financially free. We talk about financial liberation. We always talk about education in regard to financial literacy, right? But sometimes we don't understand or we don't know where to get that education from, right? The school systems are not teaching us that, right? So the 40 Acres Conference, again, we're going to be bringing this to Houston on 13, 14, and 15. And this is where we will have the opportunity to be able to network and gain information in those areas. One thing that I want to point out is parents, all the parents out there right now, it's important for all of us, right, to be able to show our kids the rules. And I truly believe, you know, the 40 Acres Conference would do that because this will show them that the sky is the limit. Literally, there's no limits in regards to where you can go in life. And what we need to do is to bring them here. We need to make sure that we bring anybody who we feel can be successful and who can be successful, anybody in this entire world. So we want to make sure that we all contributing to this cause, especially, you know, with the kids, with sponsoring them. One of the biggest things, you know, that I see now, a lot of times we see a lot of adults at events, but when it comes to sponsoring children, I think that's a beautiful thing. Number one, that shows the kids, you know, that they have some sort of, they have a guidance, right? People who sponsor the kids, you're guiding them in the right direction, but they also understand that, hey, this person was willing to sponsor me because they care and they believe in me, right? Encouraging our youth is key. Motivating our youth is key, and being the advocate for the justice system, juvenile justice system, and kids in general is very, very key because we want to prevent them from going down another path, right? So the 40 Acres Conference is where you want to be at. Again, Alan Thornton, this guy is he has done so much work. So outside of the 40 Acres Conference, you know, he's done many conferences over the years. Therefore, you know, he was able to put so much together and contribute to this cause in regard to aiding individuals who do not have access to events like this, right? Again, you can locate us at the website. You can see the pricing, you know, and go get you a ticket right now. Get your ticket today. This is going to be amazing. I'm a big energy guy, so we want everybody in the building to have major energy. Have your phone out, record. This is going to be something very, very special, and it's going to be relentless, right? One thing that I live on and I base my life upon is consistency, right? And events like this, it brings that spark that allows people to be consistent, right? So anybody who will be a vendor here at this event, right? You want to have clients, right? Number one, you want to be bringing attention to your products and marketing your products, right? This will spark that fire for that individual to start being consistent because now you will understand, hey, my product is worthy. Always have confidence in your product. And this event is going to bring that, right? So let's do it. The 40 Acres Conference is the way. And we look forward to seeing everybody here. And a lot of times, I just want to say this too. A lot of times what we're not noticing with people who come to our events, outside of our side conversations, you never know who's watching. And what this event can bring to the table for people who may be their first time attending an event, right? Exposure. So outside of your business, outside of you coming to the event in itself and looking to learn something, you bring an exposure to yourself, right? So you're motivating yourself, right? You're introducing to yourself, investing into yourself, something that you've never been a part of. And what this does, it allows you to think on a higher level. It allows you to be able to expand your knowledge on a higher level, right? So we want people to know that if you have any questions, if you have any ideas that you may want to add to the 40 Acres Conference, again, you can locate us at the website and feel free to join our team, right? The committees is probably one of the biggest things and one of the most important things when it comes to events like this, right? We want people to understand, want people to know, what it is that we're doing here. But whenever you're a part of a committee team, what this is doing, right? This is allowing people in the community in itself to contribute to our cause, to be able to contribute to what we're doing. And we can get different ideas from different people and focus on the event and expanding, but also get different ideas from different age groups, from people within the committee. We get to have different viewpoints from people within the committee, and then we can also contribute as one committee to be able to bring together one of the biggest events. Can everybody see me? It froze.
Hey, Richard. Hey. I'm loving all of that information. What I want to kind of touch at, because with you having this expo, I know that you want to make sure you have people there that are going to be able to benefit. What have you seen as probably the biggest obstacle and making sure that people understand that you are looking out for their exposure and their needs and why this event is going to be so beneficial?
So you saying why, like, what are some of the biggest problems that I see?
Because when you're looking at an event like this, you're looking at small companies. I'm kind of curious as what is your selling point to people to being a part of this event? And also I'm kind of wondering what is your social media campaign that's going along with this as well. So those are the two. They're kind of like 1 and 2, but that's kind of what I'm kind of curious about.
Oh, most definitely, man. One of the biggest things that we're doing, with our speakers, obviously we leveraging them, and we have them promote and market, using Facebook, Instagram ads, and Google ads to let the people know, say, hey, this is an opportunity for you, right? Not putting so much emphasis on the conference in itself, but looking at the conference as an opportunity for one to expand, right? So we giving people many options from different backgrounds, from different fields of work, right, to be able to come out and do what they like. So for people who want to come out and be a vendor, anyone who's looking to come to be able to expand abroad, the way we're doing that is doing the thing we're doing right here on this card now, Mr. Aaron. Being able to speak about our cause, being able to speak about what it is that the event is going to entail. So our main thing is just talking with the people and letting people know that, hey, whatever you're looking for, the 40 Acre Conference will have that. So you can also come not only to learn, but you'll be able to expand your business.
Hey, and you talked about your influence with Alan. I know he couldn't be on here tonight, but he obviously has a lot of faith in you, and I can see why. Can you kind of explain to me, how Alan, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I want to know more. How he is as a mentor, how he's influenced you. What has he helped you with in terms of you maybe saying, okay, I didn't realize I could do it this way or do it that way. And so let's kind of talk about that relationship with Alan, because it seems like that is very important. And for me being I'm in my 50s. So when I see a young cat like you and you're out there doing it, kind of want to know what you can get from people like me and what you're getting from Alan and how you're applying it to making sure this event is a success.
Most definitely, man. I can speak on that for years. One of the biggest things, seriously, one of the biggest things, Dr. Aaron, people like yourself and Alan, it's just crazy. Whenever you're able to see the work being done, right, y'all living the same thing that y'all speaking. And for Alan, man, I met Alan, a few months ago, and we connected, man. It's been up ever since. But one of the biggest things that I was able to learn from him is his consistency and his drive. And then, when it comes to a conference, right, you looking to have 10 to 15,000 people, you would think, oh man, it's probably a team of 200, 300 people, right? At first, it wasn't like that. Now we have a committee with people working together. But one of the biggest things that I've seen from Alan, right, he never made an excuse. He always told me this thing. He said, whenever you have something on your mind, write it down and make it a reality, right? Let's visualize it, right? So writing things down. We talked about it. We discussed it. He said, we're going to do that at the event. We're going to do that. The 40 Acres event, the 40 Acres conference event is going to have that. So everything that we spoke about, and every time we have a conversation in regard to things that we think will add value in order for people to come out and sponsor the kids, every time we talk about something that add value for people to have an experience that they never experienced before, he always applies it immediately, right? And then another thing too, organization and structure. When you're a founder of a event like this, right? A event that's going to entail, a lot of details in one of the biggest cities. We're in Houston, Texas.
Man, Houston. Look, people don't realize how big Houston is. Yeah. I mean, and look, you talk about the details because you're talking about, there's a lot of us down there in Houston. Yeah. So you're out there trying to, and that's what I was kind of trying to get to earlier about the obstacles in terms of getting people there. Because you got to go sit down with some of these local small businesses, talk to them about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then, like you said, you got to, put it all in place in terms of the timing. So I think one of the big things you're probably learning from Alan is patience. Trying to do something like this. Am I wrong? Am I correct on that?
You way correct. That's an excellent breakdown. Most definitely, man. And to talk about patience and also to go back on your point when you was talking about when you mentioned, reaching out to people, with this committee, we got people going out in person, handing out cards, we shooting out different information in regard to QR codes for the event. We're reaching out to different, nonprofit groups, different organizations such as G-Unity Business Lab, that's solely focused with kids who, who's on the path of becoming entrepreneurs, right? We reach out to individuals like this to be able to come out to this event. So it's a lot of time and effort that really plays a huge role in having such a successful event. Again,
right.
He's only one man.
And that's why I asked you about like the social media, because I love this whole spot. Also with you being down in Houston, because like with me, if you're on IG, Twitter, Facebook, and you're doing an event like this, for me, I would love to see some of the behind the scenes. Some of you guys going to these spots in Houston, giving these brothers exposure, just these 1 or 2 minute clips, because everything that you're saying, I'm loving. I also like to see you and Alan talking about it. So I love where you're going with this. So I'm kind of, curious beyond that. What do you think of some things that you want to add to the expo? Well, your event and your expo that you got coming up that you may have thought about or you're going to push and you haven't told anybody about. So I'm just kind of curious your whole creative mode about this because I'm loving it. So,
well, you're talking now. We're finna get creative.
I want to know your creativity. I know Alan got you on because he sees your talent, and I think you're holding back a little bit. So I'm trying to scratch it out of you. Yeah. So just kind of give me, how you want to approach it. Give me your vision, because there are people out there watching who are creative directors or who are looking for creative directors, and I think they would like to know more about your vision and how you're trying to approach this. So that's why I asked that.
Most definitely, man. I know one of the biggest things, whenever it comes to somebody setting up a conference, right, it's usually in one area. It's always in one city. So on a bigger scale, again, like you had mentioned in my bio, right? So I do specialize in Web3 development. So on a bigger scale, when it comes to creativity and on a larger scale, something that I do is create different businesses and put them into the metaverse. So one of my biggest things that I know, and it will come to fruition with this event, right? Having the event in the metaverse. So now we're talking about VR, virtual reality, where people in Senegal, people in Mexico, people in South Korea, China, Russia, they will have access to what we're doing. They will have access to this event. And within that metaverse, anybody can tap into it. They will be able to have access to anything that we offering there, right? They want to be a vendor, they can be a vendor in the metaverse, right? They want to come out and speak, they can speak out in the metaverse. The same way we're having this conversation right here. So on a bigger and broader scale, they can do that same thing in the metaverse. And this is going to be a global thing. This is nothing that's temporary. We're gonna have different events in Africa. We're gonna be everywhere. So on the bigger scale, the metaverse is something that we look into, and I look forward to expanding. But with the creativity, bringing young individuals. A lot of times, what you see whenever you see on social media platforms, an event, a conference, an expo, you see a lot of older individuals, right?
Yeah.
Now let's bring the young individuals, right? Like again, I'm 23. Let's bring the 21-year-olds. Let's bring the 18-year-olds. Let's bring the 26-year-olds, because they are the ones who are going to be setting the foundation for the next generation. So in order for people to be able to reach out and have them come to the events, let's see where their mindset is, right? And guess what? What we're doing, we're moving into a digital direction. We're moving into a digital future. And Web3 with the metaverse and everybody having access internationally, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I want to come back to that because the stuff that you're talking about, I think I'm finally getting you to relax a little bit. One of the things I'm looking at that you are working on, you are pretty versed in cryptocurrency and Airbnb and Web3. What I want to kind of ask you right now, like with those three, are you going to be able to include them in this event you got coming up? Because when I look at Airbnb, I look at that as a big time, for me, it's a big time hustle, but it's a good hustle. You know what I mean? Everything that you're breaking on cryptocurrency and all that, you're on the front line. So it's only right to have somebody of your age that's so into this to be educating us on this. So I'm just hoping that, like with the Airbnb, are you going to include this with the virtual platform that you're going to use for this event and really talk about those three things that you're pretty versed in?
Most definitely. So when it comes to the metaverse in itself, right, you can utilize and create anything you want within that space. But what I would say, anybody who's into Airbnbs, they have experience in crypto technology or Web3 development in general, again, you can come to the event, you can get you a vendor spot, regardless if you offer consulting services for crypto, if you offer services as a realtor or as a landlord, and you have arbitrages all over in the real estate field, or you do Airbnb specifically with subleasing or whatever that looks like, you can come out, get you a vendor spot and promote your business. But within the metaverse, of course, you can utilize anything. Again, if you have a vendor in the metaverse, guess what? You can promote any information you want, right? Technology has changed. So if any information that you want to present in the real world, we can make that happen in virtuality.
And just one last thing, I want to make sure I'm getting this right. So if you got somebody that's in Spain with the metaverse and the way you're going to set it up, that person that's in Spain could be able to have their business a part of this event. Is that correct? Am I wrong in that?
So again, we got some things we got to keep on the low. But guess what? Look, I'm gonna answer that. Yes. Anybody across the world, they will have access. Anybody across the world, they will have access. Yes, sir.
All right, I ain't trying to give up too much of your juice, man. I'm just, you got me curious, man. And I love the fact that Alan has a lot of faith in you, and I see why. And even though he couldn't be on here tonight, I'm glad you were on here and you provided a lot of information, man. So one of the things I want to say, man, thank you so much for your time. And as we say here, genius is common. And my brother, I will see you on the other side. All right?
Most definitely. Thank you again.
Have a good evening now, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. Everybody, the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below. That's $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at blackbusinessexpousa.com, and every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to this cause. We also want to take the time and thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for this month of November 2022. We have NC100, Black Leaders Worldwide, Growth Empowering Motivational Support LLC, Executive Women's Success Institute, Sweetheart Mitchell Collection, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Creative Force Studios, Work the Thing Supplements, Lotus Ritchie Ignites, Business Group Network, Stock vs. Sneakers, First Atlantic Insurance, Moody Capital, BHS Associates, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, March McLean Foundation, Live Shackle Free, Uniquely Different Enterprises, Technical Consulting, Black Multiverse Enterprise LLC, Genius is Common, and Black Business Expo USA. And as we say here, once again, Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side. Have a great evening, everyone, and thank you so much for checking us out. Talk to you.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be losers, miss out on their dreams from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am